easily. And it looks like Dexterity will be starting on attack and Perplexed will be defending first.
Yeah, so we're heading to map number 1, which is on border. And chat, hype it up. Pick who you think is gonna win the grand finals here. I see a lot of Dexterity fans, but I'm sure there's plenty of Perplexed fans out there in the audience, so get ready for this matchup. And it looks like Perplexed is starting on the Armory and Lockers and Archives site, so it's a pretty standard site going to. And I don't think there's too many other sites other than Ventilation Workshop they can probably want to go to, so it's pretty standard setup here.
Attackers need to locate and defuse.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the Pulse instead of a Valkyrie, the two people we usually see. So obviously I'm assuming we'll see some either underneath gameplay or he'll be playing around the walls to kind of pick up the information for his team. Although it does look like he's stood still right now. But it'll be interesting to see how the attack are going to push this. I mean, I think lately we're seeing more of a upstairs push from offices. But we could see an A push again. We're not quite sure, but it looks like we are going to be playing underneath with a castle at the moment. Yeah, it looks like Yoga's going to be playing that, with Zanki helping him, giving him the rotates. And I'm assuming he's going to be trying to hold that downstairs, trying to deny any plant with that cardiac sensor and his C4.
Yeah, Perplexed looks like they have an interesting setup here. It looks like they're going to try to play underneath Archives to hold that off as long as possible. So they do have underneath presence, and they plan on keeping that Sweater here as Buck. So he's definitely going to get underneath the site to open up the floor with the skeleton key.
Here we're seeing Bolo, the Ashman everyone knows him for. He will be pushing aggressively into Passport, cutting off any rotation people might be having towards East Stairs here. And it looks like we're going to be seeing an office push. It looks like Thermite is around the East Stairs side. Not quite sure. Yeah, it looks like Sweater playing onto the Thermite will be coming onto office. I'm not quite sure what else everyone else is doing. Yeah, we're going to be seeing Shash. Oh, sorry, it was Shash, not Sweater, as Thermite. He will be pushing the office wall. Then we're seeing Pulse pulsing out, however, underneath. So they do know what kind of push they're going to be going for by the looks of it. And we're going to have Zanki helping him, both the UMPs underneath, trying to hold off any potential attack from, we see Bolo and Sweater playing that Buck. Sweater will drone out the castle. Oh no, the Yoga, sorry. And pre-fires will come out from Bolo. It looks like we're going to be seeing some confrontation down here already. I say already, it's a minute and a half into the match. Yoga gets a kill onto Sweater. Sweater not expecting him to be stood up on that shelf like that. And that means the Buck from playing underneath will be gone, leaving just Bolo to take on the two UMPs downstairs.
Yeah, so just over a minute left. It looks like the attackers are trying to make their way towards site. Bolo's trying to contest from underneath. And he's just waiting for any rotates. And it looks like just gonna go right up the metal stairs and try to rush in. He is Ash, so he's very capable of doing so. Hyper is neck and neck with him. And it looks like Perplexed is just gonna be holding their angles. Just watching and waiting. Bolo using his breaching rounds to open up an entryway into site. Thornton lighting up. Thermite there. He's gonna have to maybe potentially toss over a nitro cell to get that kill. Only 30 seconds left. Exothermic charge going out, opening the wall in Archives, and Thornton's just getting harassed with these concussion grenades. 25 seconds left. The time is ticking. Thornton drop shotting, gets the kill on the Hyper. 4v3 now. He's really holding this Archives all by himself. Zanki getting a couple kills, and Thornton taking down Bolo. And Perplexed will win this round. A pretty good defense round here. Thornton doing a lot of work, and Zanki getting a couple kills himself.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people in chat were expecting Dexterity to kind of roll over Perplexed, but Perplexed are going to show them why that might not be the case of a very, very strong first round here. Dexterity not able to get in downstairs onto Zanki or Yoga, and they weren't able to push into site either. All their pushes were kind of denied. Thornton playing really well in that mirror, lighting up the Thermite, taking out the Twitch. Smoke denying that entry from the Thermite hole for as long as he could. And then Bolo just finished off there as he tried pushing in through the archives door. A really strong defense there. You know, really well set up. Looks like Perplexed had all the angles and all the entrances covered. And it was really well done by them. So we will be seeing Dexterity move on to their defensive armory and archives.
Yeah, I really like that defense hold that Perplexed had. It pretty much made Dexterity side. Well, they were initially going to go underneath with Buck and Ash and try to take control of Workshop just to have that vertical gameplay in their favor, but they weren't able to get there because it looked like Perplexed was holding it underneath, and that really helped them because they're not letting the attackers get there. And then if things go bad in archives, they're able to play from underneath and look up through the floorboards because the floor was open up for their access. So a really good defense there, wasted a lot of the attackers' time, and it'll be interesting to see if something like that happens again.
Yeah, looks like we could be seeing a similar push here from Perplexed, as it looks like they are going to be coming from the east stairs side, pushing into archives and work office by the looks of it. Not quite sure yet. It could evolve into something else, but we are looking at a very similar push. It doesn't look like the downstairs hold is going to be anywhere as secure from Dexterity as we had from Perplexed. It doesn't look like they're going to be playing that castle or pulse downstairs. It looks like I said they're going to be choosing to hold CCTV really well. And as I said, Shash was taken out. Didn't mean to miss that. But I think Yoga peeking onto the ventilation stairs. We're going to be seeing Crooked peek into the archives doors, shooting shots at what was Bolo playing out of there. Looks like we're going to be having an aggressive hold here from Sweater as he will try and hold work office all by himself. Now people will be jumping in. Bamite runs past, taking shot, injured actually. And he does take out Zanki, and he will now get the C4 onto Fulton. No, he doesn't. He gets killed as he falls through the hatch. Wholesale Milk doing really well there to deny that kill. Crooked then picking up a kill onto Bolo. And now this is falling apart for Dexterity. With the Thermite still alive. And now it's just leaving Dot and Hyper to protect a push from work office into archives. Hyper will take shots onto Blackbeard, injures him. Dot picks a kill onto Crooked. They're bringing this back now to a 2v2. But they are on low health right now. Bandit's low, but Dot is high. Fulton is on 50 health from before. What seemed quite sure then for Perplexed is now falling. Bandit will be behind that wall. He does get up and move just in time for Ash's shots land. Looks like
Attackers have located a bomb.
Wholesale Milk will almost get taken out by the castle on the mirror. They are going to be pushing into sight, however. Dot now having to try and hold that off. He does see the Thermite, but peeks away just in time to miss it. Now it looks like Fulton and Wholesale Milk will get the plant down, unless they say that Wholesale Milk finishes off Dot.
Wow, what a hold there, or attack around by Perplexed. You saw a Sweater go up, aggressively pushing up towards the office wall on looking into the east balcony. He was able to down Thornton, not able to finish him off though. So Thornton was able to get saved by the bell, or otherwise saved by the milk, you can say.
Yeah.
Just because Wholesale Milk just jumped in, it was able to finish off Mirror there just to save the down Thornton. So a great round there by both teams. A lot of kills there happening, but Perplexed came out on top.
Yeah, sorry about that as well. I had a bit of a mind blank onto what Wholesale Milk name was, but nonetheless, we were going into the next round and we're seeing a workshop defense as Perplexed were successful downstairs. Now, it's a good start here from Perplexed. They managed to win 2 rounds already. They have a nice lead, and it looks like Dexterity will struggle, which will go against a lot of people's predictions, I think. We're going to be seeing a good upstairs hold, just like we saw a good downstairs hold from Zanki here. He's going to be putting his castles down and reinforcing the wall. So it looks like a lot of utility will be expended upstairs. I mean, I will expect a mirror as well to be playing upstairs. As I say, that Fulton will be going up there to place down a black mirror. And I think this is going to be quite a strong upstairs hold. We've seen how good Perplexed are at dedicating a lot of utility to the floor above or below to kind of stop any of the verticality from Dexterity. And it seems they might be as successful as last time. We'll have to see how Dexterity want to push this. We're going to be seeing Dot and Thermite and Shasha's Hibana all pushing again from the work office teller's side. Now, we could be seeing a bathroom push here from the attack, but not entirely sure just yet how this will shape up. We're going to be seeing Bolo come in to challenge again onto that vertical play. Hopefully with Sweater this time, but I'm hoping this time they'll be a bit more successful, provide some more interesting gameplay, but we don't know. We'll see how this takes place and evolves.
Well, I think Dexterity will have a more direct attack this time now, and they don't have to. They know what they're aiming for. They have to go for the top floor now, and then go for site. Last time when they were attacking, they went for, they kind of were split up, trying to take the base floor and then push for site at the same time. So it was they were a little unsure of themselves, and we saw Hyper actually go down, and Yoga's getting the reset there. So just the first minute in the round, Bolo's looking into Archives, looking for some kills. Zanky is gonna play this in office now. Just waiting for the attackers to come his way, and he has to hold this off for some time now as he drops down into site. You're gonna see Crooked get the kill on the Sharsh, and he's gonna be rotating into Armory, so he might be able to catch Bolo off guard and other attackers.
Yeah, we're seeing Dexterity really struggle here to get a good push in, already losing 2 people only a minute and a half into the round. We'll be seeing a C4 go up, but instead it's a Sweater's grenade that finishes off Bolo. Now we see Sweater take his life from Yoga, and it is now just a 5 versus 1. Looks like Dot will be alone facing the Ella and Armory, and it seems like we could see the end of Dexterity for this round. Zanky will be pushing aggressively, and we see Bandit, Wholesale Milk, try and get the kill, but will not get the shots, and Crooked will finish off Dot with the pistol. Interesting round there. Dexterity not able quite to win out any of these rounds so far. I mean, but Border could just not be that map against Perplexed. We could see them do a lot better in the next map, which will be Oregon, but I mean, I think we're seeing quite a quick demise here of Dexterity, and they're gonna have to do quite a lot if they want to come back and win this.
Yeah, Perplexed is in complete control so far, being up 3-0. So they're gonna try to amplify this and bring it to 5-0 potentially. They just want to win here on Border as soon as possible, so they can just go to the next map, which I believe is on Oregon, like you said. So it's pretty much a disaster so far for Dexterity, but they're not out of it yet. They're still here. And it's just the first map, so they still have plenty of time to wake up and get back into this matchup.
Yeah, maybe they haven't quite done the aim practice yet, but we are going to be seeing them going back upstairs onto Armory Lockers and Archives. I think they might consider this their strongest site, and I'm going to try and force it out. Might hopefully play things a little bit differently, which we will be seeing as Sweater will be bringing, Sharsh will be bringing out an Echo, rather than, I think, we're missing a Pulse this time from Dexterity. Not quite sure. Yeah, no, I think they had a Pulse last time, and now it's going to be an Echo. But it doesn't look any changes are going to come out from Perplexed. It seems like we have the same lineup coming out. We saw how effective it's been so far, and we'll see how effective it continues to be. Looks like we're going to be having Hyper playing downstairs as Bandit, possibly. I wasn't quite sure there. But we're going to be seeing a CCTV push this time. Something which I think Dexterity were much more ready for last time, but it looks less so this time. Maybe should have stuck to the same tactic, but Yoga will see Bolo inside CCTV, take some shots, but will not get any landing there. But now they do know, and then, if there's anyone that's more capable of taking out Ella, it's going to be Blackbeard. And as I say that, Blackbeard will pick up a kill onto Sweater. That Mirror already died. I'm not quite sure where he was to already lose his life from that angle, but either way, he does lose his life, and that's going to put down the man count already for Dexterity. It looks like Bolo has already pushed back out of CCTV. He's not going to be trying to hold that from that Blackbeard, and he will just be sitting, waiting for the vertical play of Ash or Buck. Possibly, obviously there is no Buck, but also Mook might choose to go downstairs, but it doesn't look that way. It looks like they have switched up to go for an Archives push over a CCTV push. Dexterity looking weak already, only a minute into the round gone, and a man down. It's going to be difficult to see how this turns out.
Yeah, Perplexed is trying to inch their way towards site, being very cautious of any potential roam game coming from Dexterity. But it looks like all the Dexterity players are on site, and Yoga is able to get the headshot onto Hyper. So now it's a 5v3 in favor of Perplexed. 5-on-2, Wholesale Milk able to take out Dot. So it's all up to Bolo and Sharsh here. So Milk getting another kill. It's just Bolo. He's able to take down Yoga and Milk, but he'll be eliminated by Thornton.
Yeah, looks like Bolo maybe leaning the wrong way. That almost got the kill onto Thornton, but it just couldn't quite get the angle. He was, you see there, leaning the wrong way, exposing his shoulders and not quite able to see Thornton himself. But it was a really good try from Bolo there. He managed to take out one, injure another, but you know, we could have potentially seen a clutch there, but we saw how well Perplexed there were collapsing onto Bolo, and I think even if Thermite would have lost his life there, we would have seen a successful attack regardless. So we're already going to be seeing Dexterity losing to Perplexed, who was on match point already 4-0. A really, really strong start, I think, against a lot of people's predictions here. And we're going to be seeing an upstairs hold again from Perplexed as they now have had that break.
Attackers need to
And I imagine we're going to be seeing a very strong defense. We're seeing something quite similar here. Zanki and Yoga, I imagine, will be playing downstairs again as their Castle and Pulse. And we're going to be seeing the same Ella being played by Crooked, Wholesale, and Borton kind of holding down the site. We might see Crooked again go for a flank around through CCTV into Armory. Not quite sure. But interesting to see how this one turns out. I mean, I'm kind of hoping, just for the viewers' sake, that Dexterity can win a few rounds back, make it a bit more interesting, rather than the straight 5-0, but it's not looking good for Dexterity. Yeah, for Dexterity.
Well, even if they get 5-0'd here, it's definitely not the end, because we were even casting the Contender Series finals last night between Maskoff and Aggressor. And Aggressor, they got, I believe it was the first map as well on Border, where they got 5-0'd, and they weren't looking very strong at all, but they were able to win a map later on and contest Maskoff pretty well. So maybe Border's just a sleeper map for some teams where they just don't do so well or very hot to start off. That seems to be the same case for Dexterity here. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to bounce back from this map if they happen to lose.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing the attack come out, and it looks like Dexterity are going to be pushing maybe for an A push, like more typically expected from some of the older meta here. I'm not quite sure yet, but we're seeing Bolo, Hyper, and Dot all set themselves up, as well as Shash, around the CCTV room, which is something you typically see when they're pushing onto the A wall. Sweater alone this time will be trying to challenge that vertical play from Zanki and Yoga. It doesn't look like anyone will be in ventilation, but it looks like they have the whole setup to challenge Sweater if he does happen to go in there and try and take out that mirror. We're going to be seeing a grenade come out actually from Sweater. A very successful grenade. He will take out Crooked on that mirror and then challenge him. Really well done from them. It's a strong start for Dexterity. Finally able to say that. Dot will pick up onto Fortin, leaving it to a 5 versus 2, only a minute and a half into the round. It's a really strong start. Dot will push into the site aggressively, sprays through the wall. Now we're going to be seeing Yoga downstairs with Wholesale Milk alone out of sight, being pushed out by Dot. Now this looks like a very, very good start. And as I say that, Wholesale Milk will take it out, and now it's a 5 versus 1. Yoga stuck downstairs. It looks like he will be going for that denial of plant. Yep, he's going to try and get the C4. And as I say that, Dot jumps down onto him, and he still manages to kill. He takes out Bolo. This is looking really good for Yoga here. He's making it to a 1 versus 3, and they haven't actually managed to get it down, but they have managed to get the diffuser down now. And he will be looking for that vertical play. He sees the Thermite, but again, just like Bolo, will lose his life to Shash on the Thermite. Not quite able to hit those shots. Really good round there for Dexterity. Almost throwing it a little bit with Dot dropping onto the C4 of Yoga, but in the end, Shash just picking up that kill, finishing off the round.
You know, we saw something like a trick shot compilation there where you see a player dropping down the hats and C4 being thrown up at the same time. Did trigger, but it was pretty funny to see it hit him on the way down. But Dexterity able to win around here in the finals, making it 1v4. They still have quite a ways to go, but this is as good as a start you're going to get in a 0-4 situation.
Yeah, it's a promising round. We could see a good comeback here from Dexterity. I wouldn't count them out. We've seen plenty of teams at all levels of play have like even bigger comebacks than this. It's only the first map, as you said. So even if they do lose here, they could win the next 3 maps in a row. So I wouldn't count out Dexterity yet. It's just the first map, and we could even potentially see a comeback on this map here. Now they will be defending upstairs again. We've seen them unsuccessful 2 times already, but they are still going to try and force it out. Looks like they might be making some changes to the setup here. Looks like they might be playing the mirror inside a fountain. I don't think they've done that yet, but they are going to be doing that now, regardless. And it looks like they won't. They look like they're bringing out a Jaeger this time. I'm not quite sure who that's swapped out for, but I don't think we've seen a Jaeger yet from their team. Sharsh will be on that Jaeger though. And it seems they're not going to be reinforcing the CCTV wall either. They're going to be playing that aggressively from the mirror. So I was seeing quite a few major changes here from Dexterity, which is probably a good start if they want to come back on this map.
Yes, they have to make changes on the defense, which they are doing. They're going to a more standard setup with the black mirrors, and where they're placed, one on fountain and one on the armory wall. That's a little bit more comforting than having one place on CCTV, because you're not able to control CC, then it's not going to end up so well for the players on that black mirror. So they're going to be just going for a more site control and not worry too much about the east stairs or hallway. So they're just going to be watching and waiting on site. And I'm sure they're going to be doing some rotates. Interesting reinforcement there on the office wall. You're going to be seeing Yoga working the east balcony, trying to get an angle. Interesting not to see him on AC unit, as we see a couple claymores being placed on the stairs. I've actually seen a play where someone jumped over 3 claymores placed there.
Yeah,
so,
I was there for that. That was impressive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a pretty fun one to see. So we're a minute into the round. Attackers just warming up the site. And I believe everyone is on site from Dexterity. They were able to open the black mirror up thanks to Twitch and her devastating shock drone.
Yeah, we see that being most effective on border. I mean, you said that last night, and it's kind of true here, as the black mirror wasn't able to survive, and it looks like we're going to be seeing an aggressive push here from Dexterity. No, I mean Perplexed, sorry, onto the A wall this time instead of pushing the archives. Now it looks like Zanki will lose some health to the smoke there as he gets on his drone in it. A bit shame that it comes through the wall. Jaeger will pick up a kill onto Dot, however, deep in sight. Not looking promising for Dexterity here. Looks like Jaeger will try and push aggressively, but Zanki will finish off Sharsh, and now we could be seeing the end of map number 1 already, as it's a 5 versus 3 with only 50 seconds left.
So yes, it's all up to Sweater. He's able to get a couple kills here. Takes down Ash with a shotgun, 1v3, but he'll be eliminated. And map number 1 will go to Perplexed. It was interesting seeing Yoga playing a little more aggressive than most Blackbeard players here on border. Usually they just try to hold an angle and just watch for rotates, but you saw him getting up on the armory wall and looking through the hole where the black mirror was, and it worked out pretty well for them that round.
Yeah, that's a very strong round for Perplexed, a very strong map overall for Perplexed. We will be having a tiny bit of a break as someone does need to restart their PC, but we should be getting to map 2 fairly quickly here, which will be Oregon. Yeah, I had some hope that Dexterity could come back, but just wasn't to be, I don't think. And we're going to be seeing them hopefully perform better in the next few maps, but Perplexed proving the chat and expectations of everyone else watching very wrong here. And it's a very, very good start. I mean, I can't imagine Oregon being much different in terms of strats to what we do usually see, but it should also be an exciting match, as these teams both have really good players on in terms of gun skill and just kind of raw ability to frag. So I think regardless of the map, it's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, you saw Dexterity not able to defend Armory and Archives at all, really. They had one close round where they came down to a 2v2, but they weren't able to pull that one out. They tried the CCTV control with the Black Mirror, but it just didn't work in their favor because they got washed out of there pretty easily. And then they had only a few players left at that point for the attackers to push the site onto. So, and then they tried the last round that we saw, they tried defending a more secure hold on Armory and Archives, but they had everyone playing on site and no flanks or roam ability there. So everyone just pretty much got shot from different angles and eliminated on sight. So Dexterity, they're gonna have to pull some different things out of the hat of tricks here for the next maps. Oregon's a pretty good one to do it so on.
Yeah, we could be seeing some really interesting plays from Dexterity, I think, because I think in terms of Border, I think it's kind of getting stale in terms of strats. We're seeing very similar stuff every time, but it's still an exciting game to watch. That was an exciting game to watch. But in terms of strategy for Oregon, I think we're seeing some newer stuff come out, which Dexterity could try and take advantage of, and we could see Perplexed struggle here. I have seen Perplexed play Oregon though, and I know they are strong on it, and I think it won't be easy for Dexterity to just overpower Perplexed, but I'm hoping to see some really interesting stuff come out from both teams. We might be seeing a Vigil come out. We're seeing a lot of Vigil plays on Oregon, as it's kind of hard for roamers to roam effectively when you're getting cut in and cornered by the attackers, so we're seeing a lot of Vigil plays come out there, so we could be seeing maybe somebody on Vigil. But I imagine we'll see a lot of Mirror and Smoke. That's kind of standard for every map, downstairs and upstairs. But, okay, we actually just started the next match when we weren't meant to, so we have a bit more of a delay here. That's right.
Yeah, just to touch up a little bit just for Oregon and see what we could be seeing based on what we saw from Border. Perplexed, they were able to stall a lot of time on the defense of holds. You know, they had the bottom presence for the Army Archives hold, and that was able to buy a lot of time for them because they had Buck and Ash trying to come their way, and it made less of an effort for this top floor push because the attack was split up. So from seeing that, they're able to buy a lot of time, which is really important on Oregon, because you just want to stall the attack as long as possible. Like, obviously that's the goal for every defense, but on Oregon it really shows. And if you're able to buy time on such roam games, maybe a meeting hold or just holding somewhere upstairs, like kids' dorms or something like that, you're able to really buy your site players a lot of time. So I think that's really going to be the key thing here on Oregon.
Yeah, I think a lot of people underrate how important just wasting time is. Just because a roamer might not get like 1 or 2 frags and they might die, if they can waste 30 seconds to a minute of the attacker's utility and just time in general, then it can do a lot for a team as the attacker's forced with very little time to push into the site, which obviously we saw there from Dexterity. They struggled to push into the site when they wasted too much time on the downstairs hold from Yoga and Zanki. So if Perplexed can waste time again as effectively as they have done, I think we could be seeing another quick win, but it'll be interesting. Like I said, hopefully we'll be getting into it soon.
Yeah, and then also on Dexterity's defenses here on Border, they couldn't buy any time at all, really. Perplex had plenty of time each round going into the site and going for kills, so they weren't able to stall nearly as long as Perplex has. So if that will show here on Oregon or not really too sure. It's a different map, so you can obviously have a different outcome, and if the teams have different strats or things they like to do on these maps, that can also come into play.
Yeah, I think I'm not quite sure how we'll expect this to turn out. I think Oregon could be a map which kind of surprises a lot of people. I'm not sure, but when we look at some of the other maps coming up, I think hopefully if Dexterity win, we can see some interesting games come out, because we're not used to seeing Bank in comp play, but that will be the 4th map. If Dexterity managed to win this one, we will definitely be seeing Bank, and I think Bank could be really interesting to watch, as it's not played too often, and we can see some really interesting strats come out from it, as we're seeing in the Invitational. A lot of people hold top floor when on the bottom site to kind of waste time. I don't know, it's a map that's going through some development, I think, in terms of competitive meta, but it's really interesting to watch. So I'm hoping Dexterity can win this out so we can see that map, because a lot of the other maps I think we're seeing, like Clubhouse and Chalet, we're kind of a lot more used to. We're kind of we know what we're expecting in terms of strategy. But as I say that, we will now be getting into Oregon, and we'll hopefully be seeing some interesting stuff come out now.
So yes, we are heading to map number 2, which is Oregon. Perplexed was able to swiftly beat Dexterity on border, winning 5-0. I'll see what transpires here on Oregon. So just to touch up a little bit on what you're saying about like different things happening or strats on maps. This game is constantly evolving with all the new ops coming out, and now map buffs who saw what's going to happen with Clubhouse. So that's really exciting to see. So every map is constantly changing, even though you're not really changing much at all. It's just like the different operators you're bringing every season, which changes the meta. So that's what keeps Rainbow Six so fresh to all of us. This is on the 3rd year, or year 3, and I'm still excited for the future. Apparently it's going to be going on for X amount of years, pretty much, until they want to stop working on this game.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing some interesting changes to the meta just very soon in the next few weeks with Lion and Finka coming out, because whether you like the changes to the meta that are coming or not, it's still a very interesting change to the meta, I think. As like their gadgets can be very strong. I mean, Finka maybe less so, she's kind of just a slight buff globally, but Lion can really change up things for the defenders. It's going to make the roamer's job even harder than it already is with all the drones that go out. But we will be coming into a top floor defense here from Perplexed. We're seeing a very strong downstairs hold here. We're going to be seeing Yoga using castles, Fortin using his mirrors. It looks like ADS is here. We're going to be devoting a lot of utility to the bottom floor here, as we saw from the last game in Border, maybe even more so for this map. But we are going to be seeing a slight change up in terms of the Dexterity lineup. We're going to be seeing a Ying come out this time. We didn't see any of Ying or Glaz last map, I don't think. I might be wrong, but I don't think I remember seeing any of those. And there's a team kill from Zanki onto Wholesale Milk. Not quite sure how that happened. Might have just accidentally got in the way. Oh yeah, I think maybe got in the way of his shots or didn't move in time. I'm not quite sure there, but that's definitely going to be in Dexterity's favor there, as they're already quite a high fragging operator down. That's the Jaeger taken out already. I'm sure Zanki will be kicking himself after this if they lose this round. Now we're seeing aggressive play. Sweater's already going to be in attic, and he'll be droning out downstairs to the people in kitchen. Dot will be playing onto that mirror. I imagine he's going to try and hit Barner, and there will be no bandit on mute to stop them.
Yeah, so we're the first minute into this round. Looks like Yoga is going to get met by members of Dexterity here by Dining Room. He's going to have to try to hold this as long as possible now that Wholesale Milk is out of question. But he might get flanked here by Sweater, who is the buck. I'm
really interested to see how they just denied that Hibana. I think that was a vertical impact nade, maybe. But the Hibanas were blown off the mirror there, but one of them will still go off by the looks of it and take out that mirror. And it seems Sweater's going to be pushing him from behind. Bolo will push in onto Yoga, and Yoga will finally be taken out by Dot. And Zanki will pick a kill onto Sweater. That vertical play proving really useful there. Putting holes, something you usually see Buck be doing, but it's kind of turned back onto them. Hyper will finish off onto Crooked as Crooked takes out Shash. Really good refrag there. We're kicking off into a very volatile round here. It's 3 versus 2, a minute left, and a lot of kind of frags happening in quick succession here. But the attack is spread out, so I could see Mirror and Smoke, kind of the typical people who are always left alive in the site, maybe push this out with their, Smokes could be coming out to slow down the attackers, and Mirror using her one last black mirror. But as I say that, Mirror will get shot from below on top of White Stairs, and then will push into Bolo's line of fire, and Fortin will fall. It's now just Zanki left to take out Ashibana and Twitch, a very formidable team to try and finish, and it looks like they all will be pushing in. Dot shooting up onto Zanki. He will lose some health. It looks like we're going to be seeing the end here as Bolo finished off Zanki. A nice round for attack and Dexterity for round number 1. It's kind of a shame there to see that team kill. We don't know how much of an impact Shash could have had. Wait, Shash still on Dexterity, I'm sorry. Wholesale Milk could have had.
Yeah, Milk can take out at no cost of Dexterity was definitely worrisome for Perplexed, and it might have costed them the round because they got through Kitchen pretty quickly after they took care of Yoga. So hopefully Perplexed won't have any more unfortunate events happening like that, and they're working on bringing this one back. They just only lost the first round, so it's no big deal, but you definitely do not want to make any mistakes in a match such as the finals.
Locate and defuse bombs.
Yeah, I think that was kind of a mistake. As you saw, like you said, Yoga was pushed from behind in the front, and he didn't really have much of a chance to cover all of it. And maybe Wholesale Milk was going to be playing in there. I think that's how he was killed. He was in that kitchen, and he could have tried holding off Sweater from behind, leaving Mira able to focus on the front. But at the end of the day, that was the mistake made, and that's the mistake they're going to have to live with. And now we will be seeing Dexterity go for a downstairs hold, something you more typically see first from a team. But they will be devoting quite a lot of utility. They will bring out Valkyrie, which is more interesting, although that Valkyrie has already lost health. Not quite sure how that happened. It seems both teams unable to not hurt each other. But it'll be interesting to see where she places his cams for the upstairs hold. Yeah. We're going to be seeing kind of a standard push from Junkyard throughout Kitchen, I think. We're kind of used to now from attack. But obviously that can provide some of the more interesting firefights. We saw how kind of contested it was last round.
Yeah, Dexterity is going to switch up and go to the Laundry, which is different from what Perplexed had in mind. I think Perplexed was just possibly trying to catch Dexterity off guard. We're seeing a little bit of roam game here on the white stairs. Zanky's going to confront this. No better operator to have than Blackbeard on the west window. And Bolo's got to watch out and not to get pinched. But he looks like he has a pretty large team presence there on the top floor. He has Sharsh next to him and his dorms. And he's just going to be trying to hold this off as long as possible. And if he has that window prepped open, he's able to jump out. I don't think he does, so I'm not going to have to worry about that too much. But they do have access to those cameras from Valkyrie. And Zanky will get the first kill on the Sharsh. And the first minute and a half of the round is up.
Yeah, I think Valkyrie's not a massive loss as she was able to get off her cams, and Hyper will peek aggressively onto that Bandit and light him up. Crooked will pick off onto Bolo, so it seems like nearly all of the upstairs hold is gone now, leaving Hyper alone. And as I said, he does get injured and I imagine finished off yet from Crooked, and that's the upstairs hold completely wiped out there from Perplexed. A really strong push, and that will leave yet again Smoke and Mira left in the objective. It looks very dire here for Dexterity, and I think Perplexed are likely to win this, but they do only have a minute to push, and Sweater will get a pick onto Wholesale, but Zanky will retrade with that Blackbeard. But he still has a shield, and there's no one on that front mirror now, leaving just Dot on the back one. As I said it though, he will try and go back, but Crooked will drop and finish him off as he has his back to him. Really good round there from Perplexed, just pushing off onto those upstairs roamers, and giving them not any opportunity to kill them, having all their crossfire angles covered, and then just pushing onto site, taking out the Mirror and the Smoke, who maybe kind of position themselves poorly for that 2v5. Although maybe not so poorly.
Yeah, Dexterity looked like they had a strong upstairs hold, but they had no exit point, and they all got pressured pretty quickly and taken out. So they had no exit point or way to get out of their or rotations, you can say. They just kind of stuck where they're at, and they pretty much lost because everyone else got eliminated and it was just the site players left. And you saw Sweater aggressively playing on the stairs by Laundry. He was able to get a kill, but I think he would have been a lot more effective if he was playing behind the Black Mirror and Closet just to buy some more time. So unfortunate loss for Dexterity, making it 1-1 here. So it's still pretty much up in the air in the early goings here on Oregon.
Yeah, we are going to be seeing an upstairs hold again from Perplexed. Maybe they're not quite so comfortable with downstairs, or they just really like their upstairs hold. I mean, I think this time they won't be team killing Wholesale. We won't be seeing a Smoke with the shotgun to take him out, at least this time anyway. And it looks like the Smoke will be traded out for an Echo by Zanky, which could be interesting here to deny the palm, but we've seen how aggressive Dexterity have been, and I don't think he'll get much of a chance to sit on that drone. And I think they're going to be relying on trying to pick off as much of the attackers as possible to make that echo effective. But we will be getting into it, and it seems we're going to be seeing a similar push again onto the kitchen bathroom area with Hyper, Bolo, and Sweater will be going in behind again. I think they're going to be hoping to push them out just as effectively as last time. But like I said, this time they will have they will have 2 defenders downstairs to hold that. But Hyper misses his shot onto the mirror. And that means it will stay in play. Rather unfortunately, and this time they will have a bandit on it as well, so Ibana won't be able to get it. But as I say that, Fulton will be taken out as mirror by the Bolo. It looks like in Kid's bedroom. That's really unfortunate. A nice early pick there from Bolo.
Yeah, like I said last night, the most terrifying thing in this game is those shock drones attacking those black mirrors. And you saw it, I believe Hyper was able to take out the black mirror.
Yeah, I think I was wrong there.
It's so intimidating to see the shock drone just creeping up on a mirror. And as I'm saying that, Hyper is able to get a couple kills here, making it 3v2 in favor of Dexterity. So they're having a strong roam clear here. Now they're going to have to make their way up to site with a minute and a half left. And is this up to Wholesale Milk and Zanky? They will say, yeah, they do have Echo. If they happen to get down to the last seconds, Yokai can do the rest. But Wholesale Milk is going to kill Dot, making it 2v2. I don't think this round's going to really get to the last seconds, though, because everyone is already out to site. Hyper is going to get lit up on white stairs. But Yokai is going to be trying to help out as well. And Milk just might go for the defuse here. He is right behind the reinforced black mirror. It will get opened up. And Milk is going to get the kill on the Hyper and refragged by Sharsh. 1v1, 50 seconds left. Zanky creeping up. They're going back and forth. He's going to fall back to where the diffuser is. Gunfire going out. And he will get dropped. Zanky getting the kill with the shotgun on the Sharsh.
That was an insane round. We're not used to seeing a supernova from Echo, but you see why. Bearing 9, as shown in the panel at Invitational, being such an effective weapon, getting a third of Hibana's kills, and I'm sure Echo gets a lot of kills with it too. And that allowed him to bring a shotgun, which is why I guess they traded them out for the smoke. He does the same job with a shotgun and an SMG as a secondary, and we've seen that helped kill the Zephyr and finish off that round. That was a really good round there from, I think that was Perplexed. Yeah, they managed to just hold off that defense that time. Really nice plays there. The Echo did take out the mirror, which allowed Wholesale Milk to pick up a kill onto the Twitch. Wasn't able quite to kill the Zephyr, but obviously we've seen how Zanky was able to finish her off. That was a really good round there. Not hoping. We're seeing the downstairs again. It seems both the teams are sticking to their sites. No one changing up. And, hopefully this time the upstairs could be more effective. I say hopefully, obviously. Hopefully for Dexterity, they will be able to hold off upstairs a lot better this time.
And we saw from Sharsh there, as the Valkyrie, she was placing a gyrocam under that main table there in Laundry, just to get us a view onto where the diffuser might be going down to help out Dot, who's on smoke.
10 seconds to go.
So interesting play there. You usually don't see too much Valk play here on Oregon, because there's no like real runouts that happen on Oregon. But for example, if you're trying to watch for a diffuser and where it's getting implanted, she's definitely useful in that aspect.
Yeah, I think last time we saw the cans being placed around to cover the push from upstairs from the kitchen side. And I think they were effective cams. They weren't taken out, but Wholesale will be pushing very aggressively down through construction. Someone was reinforcing them right next to her, I think. But she's just going to kind of hold off. She's not going to be rushing too aggressively and waste her life that quickly into the round. But we could see Wholesale Milk get some really interesting kills here. It seems Barnard opened that wall as well. I think we're going to be seeing a heavy B push from Perplexed.
Yeah, Yogo is tossing a nade there, and Sweater's going to be able to pick out Zanky. Aggressive play by Sweater, as we've seen on Border. But interesting enough, this is kind of a construction push, which you usually don't see it too often unless the team's in a desperate situation. But Perplexed trying to keep it fresh here and maybe catch Dexterity off guard, which is a good element to have here in the finals. And Yoga's going to get the pick on the Sweater, playing so aggressively, like I said. Thornton going to go into Red Tower, so this is a Red Tower construction push, like I mentioned before. In the first minute and a half, You might be seeing the roamers go back to site through the front lobby, since the push is so heavy on the backside. Crooked
Attackers have recovered their
take down
diffuser.
Sharsh. So the defense is kind of falling apart here, even though all the attackers are pretty much narrowing in through these little hallways. You usually don't see this push work out too successfully.
I think it was cleverly played though from Dexterity this time. 2 of their roamers did fall back rather than kind of forcing out the upstairs hold and dying to it. I mean, they are still 1 person down and they're kind of at a disadvantage, but at least it's not a 2v5 like last time, and it will be a 3v4, so a lot better of a position for Dexterity to be in. But as I say, that Hyper picks up a kill into Crooked, that will even it out. And that means we could be seeing a win on attack by on defense by Dexterity, and they're kind of trading off these rounds, winning both defenses then winning both attacks. It's kind of a back and forth. Now Hyper picks up a kill onto Fulton, Bolo picks up a kill onto Wholesale, leaving just a 3 versus 1. Yuga trapped in that corridor and will be finished off by Bolo. Yuga losing his life, being kind of stuck in that red corridor. We will see Perplexed lose.
Yeah, Perplexed towards the end of that round, they got a little nearsighted and just kept their eye onto sight. But then they forgot no one was watching their backs towards Red Tower, and that's where Hyper was able to do some damage to get a couple kills there. And that's what I'm talking about, where that push usually isn't too successful because you have a flank right behind you when you're trying to look towards sight. So it's 2 ways you have to look. If you're pushing towards Laundry, you're just pretty much you can just have 1 person watching for a flank through meeting, or potentially through the attic. They have that opened up, which you'll probably be aware of that is. But then you can just focus on Laundry if you're able to get there. So it was a nice attempt by Perplexed, but it just didn't work out in their favor that round.
Yeah, and we will be seeing Perplexed change up their defense now as they did win upstairs, and we're going to be seeing how they choose to hold this and if it's any similar to Dexterity. We're going to be seeing, again, quite a lot of utility devoted to the kitchen. I think Perplexed as a team, they like to really hold away from the site, kind of waste time, stop the aggressive pushes from Dexterity, and we're seeing how effective it can be. Dexterity on this map have been a lot better though at countering these plays than they were on Border. As we saw on Border, they kind of weren't able to break the nut that was Yoga and Zanki downstairs on Border. But we are going to be seeing only Bolo spawn Junkyard this time, so we might be seeing much less of an aggressive push onto Kitchen, and we could see this utility being wasted actually as they don't try to push there. It seems we could be seeing maybe a construction push, or possibly just there ignoring the kitchen side. They're going to be going in through garage.
Well, you're seeing Bolo enter through West Main. It's a pretty common entry point for him through dining. He's just going to be looking for anything that might catch his eye. He was able to take out the Grizz mine, but I don't think there's too much presence here in Kitchen. You see someone is playing in there, but pushing it low might be a little dangerous for him. Surprised he doesn't have any more backup here to try to take over Kitchen.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it wasn't quite as much utility to some. There won't be a mirror, which will make Bolo's job quite a lot easier here, as he just has to push on and just win the gunfight. And we do know Bolo is a very capable player. Most people do know him, and I think he has a good chance. But it is against Ella, a very, very good fragger here. So it's going to be an interesting fight to see who wins. It's kind of the 2 sweats, and as I said, that Crooked will get flashed, but Bolo doesn't know that and doesn't abuse it, and he will wait. And now he's just kind of stuck holding an angle, but it seems they will get pinched, and Crooked does take out Sweater, however, but Bolo does refrag, now taking out the kitchen hold, although it does seem like the rest of the defenders could have possibly retreated back, or we have someone in attic.
Yeah, so we're just about a minute and a half into the round. It's already a 4v4, a couple of operators being taken out from both sides. And as I say, Bolo is able to take out Wholesale Milk, making a 4v3 in favor of Dexterity. Just a minute left. Looks like they're going for a Laundry push here. There is no smoke on site. The Perplexed decided not to bring him. Instead, they're bringing Zanki as Echo, so they're hoping to use Yokai to hold off the defuse. And Doran's going to go for the rotate, and he's able to get the kill through the blind smoke. Bolo and Hyper getting a couple picks themselves. It's all up to Zanki. 1v2 now. Hyper picking off Bolo, but it doesn't matter because Hyper is able to win out the round. So Hyper getting a couple kills, one on his teammate, but didn't really matter there because he was able to jump in the site and eliminate Zanky.
It seems he might be playing with his outlines off, as we're going to be seeing a team kill come out from one of these teams. This time it's onto Bolo as he drops the hatch, but as you said, Hyper, being the very capable player he is, does finish off Zanky and wins that round. And it kind of shows maybe why Perplexed did push the upstairs. Maybe it's not quite their strongest side, as we did see Dexterity kind of take apart their defense rather quickly there. Although Crooked was able to hold Kitchen for quite some time and take out one person, it wasn't enough to really push out and win the round. But we will see Dexterity now have to hold upstairs as they did win downstairs. And we could see this be their weaker side too, and we could see Perplexed win this round quite easily. It's interesting to see how they hold it. We are going to be seeing Sweater place his mirrors downstairs in the kitchen. So we are going to be seeing a lot of utility being placed downstairs again. We'll bring out a Legion actually. Shash is going to be bringing out that Legion. I think, again, that's for intel and to waste time. It will nick away at the health, it will let them know where they're coming from, and it just will in general slow down the attackers as they take time to look for it or hit them and take them out. So that we could see Legion players being really, really good here. We saw how successful he was in the invitation, how useful he was for a lot of teams. But other than that, not many major changes to the lineup here. I think the only person they're really missing is Jaeger from last time. But it seems Wholesale Milk is just going to push aggressively through construction into downstairs and kind of try and gain some dominance on the downstairs rotation early on. Maybe catch someone off guard and hold off from the top of Laundry Stairs, which you see quite a lot of actually. People holding off on the top of their attackers, rushing in. And it can catch quite a lot of defenders off guard as they don't expect an attacker to already be there. And as I said, that Twitch will get the mirror. Your classic Jaws music comes in. Slash. Oh, really nice peek there from Yugo onto Hyper. Quick peeking that really nicely. That will take out the Bandit playing in Kitchen. And I don't think there is anyone else in Kitchen at the moment. We will see a Legion though, trying to waste their time. I think we're seeing Perplexed start off strong. They have the angles established on the Laundry Stairs. They're kind of establishing the kills, and they will pick off onto Legion. Bolton taking out Shash, Wholesale Milk taking out Bolo. It's already a 5 versus 2. Only a minute into the round. Sweater will retrade, however, onto Zanky, and then he does retrade onto Crooked. We're seeing how good Sweater is with Mirror and why he's a Mirror player, ripping through them with the Vector. And it will now be a 2 versus 3. Sweater doing a lot of work to bring it back for Dexterity, but we will be seeing Yoga use that vertical play. Dot takes out Wholesale Milk. It's now 2 versus 2. What seems so strong for Perplexed is now looking pretty weak, and we could see them lose this out. There will be Legions probably around these stairs. The smokes do come out to prevent this white stairs push, and we're going to be seeing Yoga try to get some good vertical play, but not quite sure he'll be able to get it as he gives up by the looks of it on that side where the defenders are playing. And he's going to be coming up the lobby stairs. They will be seen on cams though, however, and I imagine defenders will be ready for him now.
Yeah, so just a minute left. Sweater and Dot being very aggressive site players. That's the best element for Sweater. He is, however, even though he's a Mira, you usually don't see Miras being too aggressive, but he does have that element where he's able to surprise coming attackers. And you're able to see Sweater going for some pre-fires onto the hallway. Thornton being very cautious and wasting precious time. You're just going to see a C4 get thrown out. You're going to see Thornton dodge it. Yoga is getting hit with the goo mine. 25 seconds left. Time is running out for the attackers. And neither of them have the diffuser. So they're going to have to go for kills here. 20 seconds left. Dot and Sweater holding tight angles. And Dot's going to get eliminated, and so is Sweater. Yoga is able to get the round finished up alongside Thornton. And they actually did grab the diffuser there at the end.
Yeah, I think Sweater was just on too low health to be able to challenge Yoga properly. He was on like 10 health, under 10 health, so all that had to happen was Yoga put one bullet into him, although I think it was a headshot, and he was down. And that just left the smoke alone in the kid's site to push 2 attackers who had the diffuser. And I think I'd like to see Perplexed win there. regardless, like if they couldn't get the smoke down as they were going to be planting, although he would have had to have planted in a very vulnerable spot. But very good Perplexed to bring it back. We saw how strong they were at the beginning, then Sweater kind of picking them apart towards the end and making that attack less so aggressive. But they were patient and they managed to hold off and get the right shots when they could. But to pick up on your Mira thing, Mira can be really good to play aggressively because she is a free armor, so she has that extra health and she has that Vector, which is, you know, a god tier weapon. I think if someone like Jaeger or Ella had the Vector, people would be complaining about that gun a lot more and how strong it is. But seeing as it is on like a slower, more passive player, people don't see how good it is. So Sweater playing really aggressively with that Mirror can be really, really good because that Vector does so much work and she has the extra health to take the shots. As we saw, she's managed to take out 3 people and she was on extremely low health. So if he was playing any other operator to play aggressively like that, he probably would have lost his life earlier on. But we are going to be seeing Perplexed go back upstairs. It is 3-3. This is their better site, so we could see Perplexed go on to match point after this. And as I say that though, Dexterity picks up an early pick onto a Hotel Milk. Not quite sure where he was playing there to get shot. It seems maybe... Actually, I'm still not quite so sure. He's... Could have been from Big Tower, but... Either way, that's going to be very good for Dexterity. Already picking off one person. That's going to be a good start. But it is the Jaeger, who they did lose last time, so it might not matter too much. But we're going to be seeing again Zanki, that Supernova and Bearing. We saw how effective he was last time, and hopefully for them they can be as effective again. It's quite interesting to see the Supernova come out, as people would say it's not the best choice of weapon for him, but it seems like Hyper's going to be playing onto the kids' window. So we could see... Oh no, Bolo will be playing onto the kids' window, so... Yep, as I said, Zanki will get taken out. So he won't be able to clutch the round out for his team this time. And we are going to be seeing that Echo Drone be wasted. And it's now 5 versus 3 already, so short into the round. And it looks like Perplexed are kind of really vulnerable right now. And it seems they're already going to be flashing and smoking out here. And I think we could be seeing an early plant. However, Jaeger will pick up a kill onto Bolo from kids' room window, but Sweater does get downed as well, and that means the Bandit will be able to get picked up. Crooked, there we go, there we see it now. It's a 3 versus 3. Perplexed being able to bring it back, but Hibana will get the plant down, and Hyper gets taken out. This is looking quite good for the defenders, though it is a retake at this point. And we're going to be seeing Dot stuck in the corner of Master Bedroom. Shash will pick up onto Fulton, pushing up White Stairs. He is going to drop around. Now, I'm really not sure how this will turn out. Bandit will push onto the Hibana. Doesn't... Oh, he doesn't push fully, and he won't get the kill. Yoga picks up onto Shash. Dot now having to take out this Hibana, and he will get the destroying of the defuse, which means that will be a round for Perplexed. Really good comeback from Perplexed there, just like last round. We've seen how kind of weak they look at first, but... Oh no, they were strong last time, and then they managed to bring it back, but this time they started off weak, and they managed to come back strong. That was a really good hold.
Yeah, clutch round for Perplexed. Able to win that round. Wasn't looking good for them early on because it was looking, the attackers were just progressing so much into sight, and you saw Ying's Candelas and smokes going down so early, but the defenders were able to win that round, and now it's gonna make it match point in favor of Perplexed. So if they happen to win this round, they'll go up 2-0 against Dexterity and Maps, which would be a pretty strong lead. Then that'll make them go to map point, because you only need to win 3 maps to win the championship here.
Yeah, it's looking good for Perplexed at the moment, but I mean, this has been a back and forth fight every round this map so far, so it could be very likely we see Dexterity come back to go into overtime for this map. But I'm not sure how this will pan out though. Dexterity playing their better site again of downstairs, so we could see a win, I think, from Dexterity, but it seems they're not making any major changes to the lineup. We will see the hold they did before with Mirror downstairs and the Smoke. Well, I'm not quite sure what Smoke's playing at the moment, but we are going to be seeing Charge and the Valkyrie again, which I think have been quite effective, just gaining the information on the pushes they have onto the upstairs hold. Because we've seen, I think they play around the small tower, and I think it's really good for information and gathering. And I think she hasn't been a waste for that team. And when she does get picked off, that utility hasn't been wasted for the defensive team.
And it looks like Dexterity might be trying something similar to what Penta was doing in Invitationals on Oregon, where they were doing a heavy sight hold on top of in kids' dorms. They just really had a strong presence up there, and they were able to jump out of the dorm's window and rotate in the classroom. And it looks like Perplexed was able to catch on to that, so they're going to be keeping an eye on that window in case there is any rotates. But they're going to be trying to pressure the site, and we might be having some lag issues for the players. Might be both sides, not too sure what's going on. So that might call for a rehost potentially in the future, but I don't think there's anything we could do about for now. We're halfway through the round just about, and no kills yet. Everyone's just trying to get situated right now. Zinky is going to drone out, but I'm not sure he's going to find anyone. Mir is playing at the top of the stairs like Swear. He is playing very aggressively. He's going to fall back though, and just buying some time. That's what you want to do on site. And as a roamer, of course, you don't want to do anything too risky as a site player, and just let the roamers do the work.
Yeah, I think it was clever for Sweater to back off there, because we saw last time how although he was able to get a pick, he did die because of it, and it meant the laundry stairs side was left vulnerable, and the smoke wasn't able to cover it. And while he was mid-rotation to the laundry side, he did get picked off from behind. Now, as I say that, Zanky does pick up a kill onto Sweater, and seems Hyper picks up a kill, and there's a lot of kills going off right now. Wholesale picks up onto Shash, and it looks like the plant did go down. Yeah, the plant has gone down, and it's now a 3 versus 3 here. But Fulton is on extremely low health, and then the other 2 attackers on low health. But 2 of the defenders are on extremely low health. But as I said, Fulton does get picked off, as I said. He was so low. We're going to be seeing Doc go for the destroying of the diffuser, and it's not contested at the moment. Hyper picks up onto Zanky and Wholesale Milk, eliminating all the attackers, leaving Dot to destroy the diffuser.
Well, a great diffuse stop there from Dexterity. I guess they got the call that, hey, all the attackers are preoccupied right now in lobby. You're got the clear to go stop that diffuser. So they will pull that off. Great clutch there, because now it's overtime 4-4 here on Oregon. So it's unlike Border, which was a 5-0 from Perplexed, now it's tied up going to overtime here on Oregon.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see that Dexterity push successfully, like back onto Perplexed as a defense that was their best site. So we'll be seeing everyone come out onto their better sites again. Zanky making his holes with the Supernova. Hopefully he won't get picked off so early by Boa this time. And we're going to be seeing a lot of utility downstairs again with the mirror. It seems Wholesale out on the Jaeger. I'm not seeing many changes actually to the lineups on both sides. We're seeing the same players play the same operators now. I think both sides are getting comfortable in who they're playing and their roles. I think Wholesale won't be playing so dangerously wherever he was last time to get picked off early by Sweater.
Yeah, I'm a little questionable about what Zanky's using Echo. He might feel more comfortable with Echo than he does with Smoke per se, because they both fill similar roles. But I think Smoke is a lot more well versed compared to Echo, because he does have the SMG 12 or 11, my bad, not the 12, the 11, and then he has the primary shotgun. But then he also has the Toxic Babes or smoke grenades. There I go with smack. But he's able to just stall for a lot more time than Yokai can. Yokai's great for the closing seconds just to stop the diffuse going down. But overall, I think Smoke's a little better here on Oregon, especially.
Yeah. We are going to be seeing a push by Bolo. And I think Dot onto this mirror here. It will get taken out by Hyper, and as I say that, it leaves him vulnerable. Jaeger will be taken out by Bolo. Leaving Crooked downstairs alone in the bathroom. I'm not sure if they have droned him out, if they know he's there, but I imagine they will be droning him out. And we're seeing quite a strong start here from Dexterity, pushing out this downstairs hold. And it makes it a little bit less successful than last time.
Yeah, nice peek hole into the from the showers from Hyper. Watching those white stairs, I wasn't able to get the kill, but he's able to block that exit way now. As you see Dot working his way towards white stairs. Still plenty of time for this attack to go down. They still have all 5 of their attackers in. It looked like Dot was trying to get the kill to the floorboards there. Not able to secure, but Milk is going to try to bring it back here, eliminating Sweater. That's Buck off the board, big attacker out of this one. And similar to last time, you're seeing Dexterity and well-timed going for sight. Sharsh is already tossing in Candela's, and that'll be Yokai eliminated. So Zanki's just pretty bare now. Crooked getting a couple kills through the reverse Mira that was opened up. Great play off that. And now it's only 50 seconds left. 2v2 now because Bolo was able to kill Zanky. 45. And now Sharsh is going for the diffuser, and Bolo is there to help him out. And I believe you saw Wholesale Milk over in a small tower, and Crooked is able to get the kill on the Sharsh. Where is Bolo? He's on site. So 1v1. Wholesale Milk is the one off site, so he's going to have to go for a retake. Diffuser's going down now. And he's going to give away his position with 20 seconds left. Diffuser goes down, and Bolo is just sitting on top of it. However, Milk is able to get the down on the Bolo. And they will win this round for Perplexed. So a big round win for Perplexed here in overtime.
That was really unfortunate timing there by Bolo. He was just going to sit in the corner. I imagine if he did just stay there, he probably would have won that. Wholesale Milk might not have expected him there, but in the end, he did turn his back on and try jumping out the window as Wholesale Milk pushed out, which did allow him to get injured. And then Wholesale just had to finish off the kill and destroy the diffuser. Oh, we're seeing the scoreboard here, and Bolo and Hyper doing a lot of the work in terms of fragging for their teams. A bit more balance on the side of Perplexed. Crooked doing a lot for their team. We saw that his bandit play maybe saved the round, getting that double kill onto the 2 people stacked on white stairs. But we are going to be seeing Perplexed now on match point, and they will be attacking onto Dexterity, who I imagine will be going for a downstairs hold. Seeing Sharsh not quite doing so well.
Yeah, Sharsh is having a harsh going here on Oregon.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
But this is a little oddly familiar to how last night's finals was for the Contender Series. I believe map number 1 and 2 were both Border and Oregon for both finals. And you saw Maskoff just completely dominate on Border, and then I think that the Oregon matchup went to overtime, and we actually saw a round very similar to the one we just saw where Bolo was jumping out of the window when he had the diffuser down. We saw something very similar to that where Thermite got the diffuse down. He shot out the window, west window actually, go for a jump out, and he was eliminated as he was has his back turned.
Hyper's already injured there. Not quite sure what happened. I have seen that it is 13, not 14. Sorry if that caused any offense to anyone if they're friends of him, but I'll try to remember he's now 13. But we're seeing 2 people on 50 health already as the attack phase only just comes in. I kind of didn't see what happened there. It's really interesting. That's going to put Dexterity back quite a lot. And as I said, the Dexterity won't be downstairs as expected. They will be upstairs, and Hyper picked up the kill onto Zanky, hiding under that window. We saw him doing that before to the Blackbeard, and it's going to be more successful this time, as he won't only tag them up, he'll finish them off. We'll be seeing Sharsh with this downstairs hold as Legion. Really interesting to see him come back out again. I like his plays. But 13 will be pushing in onto that mirror, which has been taken out by Crooked by the looks of it. Although they are someone down already, we have 2 defenders on low health, and it seems the downstairs hold has already started to get pushed out, so we could see Perplexed still win this out and come back. As I say, that Wholesale Milk gets a kill as Glaz onto Hyper. Not quite sure what that angle was, but a good kill nonetheless, and that's going to bring it back in their favor. It's one of the low players down. I think he'll regret being on 50 health there, because that probably allowed Glaz just to get that one shot. We're seeing Dot in a very interesting position though. He's going to be trying to push aggressively onto Yoga, I think that is, in the bathroom.
So we're about halfway through the round. 4v3 now that Swear gets the kill on the Crooked. It's not looking so hot for Perplexed because they got the quick 2 eliminations to start the round off. But now Yoga has the diffuser as Ash. And you're actually going to be seeing Dot get eliminated by 13. Bolo killing Wholesale Milk. So now it's 2v3. They were Dexterity. And this attack is pretty much falling apart. They do have Hibana and Ash left, so they still have some room to work with. However, I believe all the defenders are back on site. So it's going to be a hard going here with only 50 seconds left. Actually, Bolo was able to kill 13 on the roam game from meeting, and Yoga didn't really catch that. And Bolo's going to contest it. And you might just try to fall back to site potentially. No, he's going to try to hold the lobby. But with only 30 seconds left, Yoga doesn't have much to do here. Yoga actually kills Sweater. 1v2. He still has 20 seconds left, so he's going to have to get up White Stairs pretty fast here. And he just might go through the lobby, and he will. 15 now.
15 seconds
He has a
left.
diffuser. He's going to be making his way down the hallway, but Bolo is right around the corner. And he's going to catch him off guard. No, Yoga will finish him off. 1v1, 5 seconds left. He's going to go with the defuse. If he just sprays to the...
Oh,
there.
he doesn't know he's right in front of him.
He did not know
my
he was
God.
right on the other side of that furniture there.
Oh my
And that was
God.
quite unfortunate for Yoga. He almost clutched that round out in a 1v3 scenario, but just ran out of time there. So now we go into the last round, round 11 here on Oregon. Winner will take the map. And this has been a pretty exciting overtime here for the finals.
Doesn't mean to laugh there, but that was really interesting to see them pretty much kissing each other there around that desk, but not knowing they're both right there. Really nicely played there by Shah. Just having the patience not to peek and hide, and it kind of worked out. Almost didn't.
Attackers
Maybe
need to
if,
locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Yoga wasn't ADS'd into the kid's bedroom, he might have just about saw Shash in time, but no, we are going to be going to overtime match point on a deciding round 5-5 here. Yeah, you couldn't ask for any better than this. I think Perplexed really are going to try and win this round out now, so they're going to be on map point, as you like to call it. But I think Dexterity really need this round if they want to hope to win this final here for the Invite Series.
Yeah, if Dexterity is able to win here, they'll give them a great boost in confidence because they will tie it up 1v1 in maps. But if Perplexed is able to clutch this one out,
5 seconds
then it's
left
going to
before
be
insertion.
pretty hard for Dexterity to get back into it. We saw it for the Invitationals where Penta was able
Attackers' objective is
to
to
win
locate
3
bomb
maps in a row, but we would have to see if Dexterity was able to do the same. If so, we have a long ways ahead of us if we want to go to the 5 maps. But the round's going to start off, and Dexterity is on the attack.
Bomb located
And
by
they did
attackers.
do a pretty decent job on the attack so far. They're just pretty good on the roam clear overall. And now Sweater is going to be watching Red Tower. I believe that is someone right around the corner on the stairs. And it might have just moved. Yeah, Zanky is just moving out of the way just in time. And someone's going to be actually playing in an attic. So there's a large meeting presence here. So Sweater's going to have to be very careful here if he wants to push in.
Bomb diffuser has
And we are going to see Wholesale Milk take out Dot. However, he's going to get downed by Bolo. So Bolo's going to get the refrag. 4v4, minute left, or 2 minutes left here. First minute down. We're seeing a similar hold from Crooked here in Kitchen. And you're probably going to see similar results if Bolo is able to get some help from the lobby side. And Crooked might just try to play this really aggressively and just run out. But Bolo's going to think otherwise and just try to get away while he can and go elsewhere. You might just go with the kids' dorms. Oh, you just might be faking it, actually. Nice tactic there, and he will. But however, Crooked's going to finish him off. It was a nice little mind game there to draw out Crooked, but Crooked was not falling for that one. Now he's actually going to make it 4v3 in favor of Perplexed with a minute and a half left.
Yeah, Hype is already on low health as well. This is looking good for Perplexed to win this map out. But obviously we've seen anything can happen in this game so far. Crooked is on lower health as well, but it is going to be a 4 versus 3 in favor of defense. So Yoga playing aggressively out of sight. Zanky with his Echo. Just watching that buck there. Not using it, not wasting it. Just using it for information, which is quite good for them. They are going to be going for a reset on Hyper, who's dropping off the roof. It's really interesting to see how this is turning out here and how they're going to be doing this. It looks like they are going to go for a down push though, and they will meet Yoga, I believe, down inside construction, and I think they do meet Yoga. I can't quite see who was killed there by Hyper, but it looks like someone will get downed. Yeah, Ying is going to be downed by the C4, as well as Buck being taken out, and defenders will win that round. And that brings the map 2-0 in favor of Perplexed, making them match point to be tonight's Invite Final winners. Now, I think we are going to be seeing a small 5-minute break, just for the teams to kind of cool off, as it is quite a long match, potentially, as Dexterity could easily come back and win this overall. So we could be seeing all 5 maps played, so I think we will be having a break.
Yeah, just to highlight a little bit on Oregon, Perplexed winning in the last round of overtime to make it 2-0 in their favor as far as maps go. So they just need to win one more map to seal the win for the championship for the Invite Series. Dexterity, they had a strong showing, not as much of a balanced kill count. You saw Bolo and Hyper getting most of the kills and carrying the rest of the team, but Perplex had a much better overall kill count for each player. So I think overall they're doing much better as a team than Dexterity, but you know, it was still went to round 11 there, so it was very close. It could have gone either way, really.
Yeah, that was a really good map. Sorry, I didn't mean to like just kind of skip onto the break. Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, we are going to take our break now. Unless you have something else you want to say before we get back into it.
Yeah, I just want to say that was a really good clutch there from Perplex. They just held off Dexterity, and I think that's kind of maybe what people might have expected now. I think Dexterity have a lot of work to do. Obviously, they have to win 3 maps in a row. I wonder if they will get that pen to come back or not. But
We were just gonna be taking a couple-minute break and let the I think we're doing a rehost if I'm not mistaken. So we're just gonna wait for the players to get back in. So we'll probably be just taking a quick break until everyone is in.
yeah, maybe a tiny bit longer. Some players might need to go get a drink, kind of talk strats or something. I'm not quite sure what they want to do themselves, but we'll hopefully try and get back into this as soon as possible.
Yeah, so we'll be back in once all the players are back into the lobby, and we'll get going on map number 3, which is on Clubhouse. So don't miss it. And we are back. Hello, everyone. This is the grand finals for ESA Invite Series. Perplexed against Dexterity. We're going to map number 3. Perplexed won the first 2 maps, so they are on map point, which means they only need to win one more map to secure a win in the grand finals to win the championship. Dexterity, they have a long road ahead of them. They would have to win 3 maps in a row if they want to get their championship title. I am your caster Slash alongside Madams, and we're being hosted by Wazda. So we're gonna try to jump into this. I think all the players are ready, if I'm not mistaken. So should be getting into this very quickly.
Yeah, I think Clubhouse will be an interesting map. And I think we'll see some interesting stuff come up from both sides. I think Dexterity might try to do some really interesting stuff because they really need to win. They have to win every map in a row now, and they can't let anything slide, otherwise they lose this final.
Yeah, they have to win on Clubhouse, Bank, and Chalet if they want to bring it back here. So we should be getting started very soon. And I think both teams are about ready. And we got one ready. Let's see if we get 2. But last map on Oregon, it was very close. Came down to the very last round in overtime, but Perplexed was able to win that one. It was pretty close. Dexterity had a good chance of winning it as well, but it didn't really work in their favor, and they didn't really show up on border. So it'll be interesting to see what both teams can do here on Clubhouse, which is our 3rd map.
Yeah, we are going to be getting into it, and Dexterity will be starting on attack again. And we're going to be seeing the kind of obvious pick of Church Arsenal Room, the only considered really viable site for this map. However, that could change with the new changes they're bringing to Clubhouse in Season 2 of this year. But right now we're going to be seeing Church and Arsenal. We're seeing some picks you'd expect to see for a defense. Zanky back on that Echo. Not sure if he has the Supernova again. We're going to be seeing Pulse, who I imagine we'll be playing by the Pulse wall under the kitchen hatch. Trying to get the information, see where the push is coming from. See when they're pushing down those main stairs. We're seeing Wholesale back on the Jaeger. And I'd say nothing too surprising as well from the attacking lineup. We're seeing the Thermite and Hibana, so Thermite can get the dirt tunnel wall open. Hibana can kill the hatches, and then you're left with 1 Thermite to try and get that Church A wall open, which you see happen quite a lot. And obviously Sweater playing Buck to try and get some vertical lines of sight in the kitchen, which I imagine trying to get that Pulse pushed away. But be interested to see how this takes place though. I think both teams very capable players on both of them. And I think we're going to be seeing some really interesting gunfights come out from this, and confrontations. We're seeing quite a quick, aggressive push from Bolo.
Something I see that's kind of unusual anyway is Zanky's preferring to use Echo once again. Not sure if he's using the Supernova or his MP5 right now, but if he's using the MP5, he would probably be sitting behind the gun rack, I would imagine, with that ACOG sight. But you usually do not have Echo holding the downstairs defense. He's usually on the bar defense. That's a little bit more common, but I can't recall anyone using Echo on this site.
I think Echo can be useful for this site. I myself play Echo sometimes on this site, because it can be very easy for attackers to take A from the hatch and kind of force the defenders out. We'll see Yoga misses C4, however, onto the Buck above. But I think they're trying to use Echo here as a replacement for smoke. They're not bringing the smoke, but they still have that shotgun SMG combo. So you can use that shotgun to make the holes. Not quite as effective as the SAS shotgun for making like destructive holes, but still good. And as I say that, Yoga picks up the kill onto Sweater, and Shash will take damage as well, using that cardiac sensor really effectively. You know, we're kicking off quite an aggressive round here. From Perplexed, already picking off 1. Bolo and Shash on low health, and only a minute and a half left for the attack to push. Wholesale Milk pushing aggressively under the hatch, picks up onto Bolo now. He will lose some health to it, but now it's a 5 versus 3. Not looking very promising for Dexterity. Thermite on the dot as Thermite will take out Wholesale. Hyper takes out Crooked. They're bringing it back. It's now 3 versus 3. Pulse pushes aggressively back onto Dot, however, and he will take him out. Now this is 2 versus 3 in favor of the defenders. Oh, that's a misthrow there from the Mirror, almost killing both of them together. We're going to see this take out nearly all of Hyper's health there. Charge and Hyper now extremely low against 2 free armor, full health defenders. We can see them struggle now. We're going to see Zanki play in blue, getting that angle onto Church, like Moto as people like to call it, but no one is actually in B protecting it. So we could see Sharsh just run into B and try and get the plant down. As I say, that he will take out Zanki in blue, leaving just 13 to take on 2 attackers. He is planting, and he will be covered from hatch. All 13 has to do is deny it, but he doesn't. Fights onto the Hyper upstairs, takes out Sharsh, but now it's going to be a very difficult fight for 13 as he has to take out Hyper, who is a very good position here. Really hard to contend. He has to look directly up, but yep, here we go to see Hyper light up Mirror. Does miss some of his shots and will get downed. I'm not sure if 13 knows. He does know. He finishes Hyper and now he will destroy the diffuser. Very close first round here for Clubhouse, but it will go in favor of Perplexed. Really not what Dexterity wants to see here.
And Perplexed, 13 getting the massive win there on the very first round Clubhouse. He couldn't have probably done it much better. He was able to kill Sharsh there while he was getting flashed. And then on top of that, you had Twitch, who was standing on top of a shelf in the kitchen, getting a pretty favorable angle. But he was able to look straight up and get the kill that way. And can't really say much more for him, just clutching that round out. So round 1 will go to Perplexed, and they are looking hot. So we are going to go to round 2 now.
Yep, I think we're going to see a Church Arsenal defense again. Yep. Which will be interesting to see how Dexterity choose to hold it. They are bringing out a Valkyrie, which it looks like he missed through that one. But we're going to be seeing Sharsh on that Valkyrie again. We've seen him like Valkyrie on Oregon. But they are going to be replacing that with the Smoke and Echo we saw from Perplexed. But other than that, it is pretty much the same defensive lineup. And we see interesting to see how they use the Valkyrie though. I imagine they'll be using conjunction with Pulse to get information of Kitchen, maybe try to get some C4 kills from below. But other than that, I think we're going to be seeing some fairly similar things. Actually saying that though, the Mirror will be played in blue onto Church. A Mirror I'm seeing quite often now in competitive play, as it stops that push into A of Church quite effectively, but there are going to be no grenades to counter this from the blue hatch though, so if the attack want to stop this, they're going to have to push very aggressively down blue to prevent this. But you know, Dexterity Perplexed is a very capable aggressive team, so
yeah, you might see Yoga go down the blue hallway as Blackbeard. That's probably the best way you can test anyone that's in blue, just because Blackbeard's is so nice there. And Sweater with the aggression again, roaming up towards Kitchen hallway. He's not able to get any kills, but he's gonna drop back to site. Crooked, so swimming around with the shock drone, not able to. I'm not sure if he was able to get the Black Mirror taken out or not, but he's actually seeming pretty much like a threat right now. He's challenged Bolo, who is sitting in blue, who is protected by the Magpie or ADS, you can say, in the first minute here.
yeah, I think I completely didn't even think about Twitch when I was saying about countering that Mirror. As you see, Twitch being a lot more. I think Twitch wasn't used very much at first when Mirror first came out because it kind of made a lot more noise and people took it out a lot more easily. But now Twitch is able to sneak up very easily. There's a lot more distractions for the defenders to worry about now. And it's made Twitch be played a lot more effectively, as you can just get rid of that Mirror. Now, as you see, we're going to be seeing Wholesale Milk drop into Moto and start pushing onto A. But Bolo will pick up onto Zanki, who was playing Ash, so we're seeing an unsuccessful blue push onto Ella. But we're seeing the majority of the attackers here pushing Church. And not quite sure what Wholesale Milk was hoping to do there. He pushed onto a mirror, then pushed down a very long corridor, which has a very good line of sight from Sweater. But 13 picking up 2 kills onto Hyper and Sweater there. But he will be losing a lot of health. We're seeing a really interesting run out here from Dot. He will go around all the way from Dirt Tunnel into Kitchen. There will be no one in Kitchen to meet him, but 13 is above Blue now. He could potentially go for him, but yeah, we're gonna be.
We have 25 seconds left, and Bola's going for the peek through the blue hatch, not connecting his shots, but he's just gonna be waiting to see if there's any push from Church side. From Memorial. 15 seconds left. Yoga's sneaking up through the main hallway. He sees the gun of Bolo, and he's able to take him out. 2v2. He sees the drop. He's able to connect the shots onto Dot. Now, but Thornton was able to refrag. It's 1v1, and defenders will win due to time restraints. So it will be tied up 1-1 here so far on Clubhouse.
We saw the we saw the exact same thing from Yoga last time on Oregon. He's a monster at clutching. He taking out 2 defenders, but yet again, just not quite able to that last defender, and the timer will run down. Not quite as funny as the last time when they were right next to each other. Valkyrie was a lot better protected. Shash being able to avoid, and I just realized it's the exact same people as well. Yoga and Shash just round the corner from each other, but not quite able to get the kill, leaving the timer to run down. But a really nice try there from Yoga, and I think almost did a very good job at clutching that one out for his team, but he didn't, and that's going to be 1-1 when we're seeing Dexterity go on to attack the bar defense of Perplexed.
Yeah, Dexterity almost gave that one away, being in such a favorable position. But now Perplexed is going to have to go to the bar site, which is usually not too favorable for the defenders. Usually it works out better for the attackers, but doesn't mean the defense has no chance at all. It's just that it's such a large site to protect that you really have to have everyone spread out, and then all the attackers are connecting in one area and have a lot of different angles to look at. If you happen to have anyone looking through that main door, they can look into bar, and they can look down into the supply hallway area. So there's a lot of angles they can get onto the defenders.
Yeah, you said bar, really hard site to defend, but we have seen it be successful. I think Perplexed in the last matchup, we saw them play. I think they were successful in defending bar, but we're seeing a really aggressive peak from Yoga. From that, we've seen that as well. Dokubi being taken out from that in another matchup. As you were saying, how interesting it was her being taken, but Yoga's not going to be successful, and he does back off right as someone's about to peek it. It does look like Dexterity is setting themselves up for a strip push though. Crooked, and I'm not sure who else was with him. It looks like Zanki.
Yoga.
Oh, is it Yoga? Okay, yeah, Zanki and Yoga trying to defend that from Dexterity.
Changing mags.
Yeah, it's definitely a strong hold and strip, and see how long that will last. Usually it doesn't last all too long, so they might just try to go for supply possibly if they're able to get their entry point there. Sweater getting a nice kill on the Zanki. He's a little unaware that he might have been there. And you usually don't see too much sledge play here, but if you're comfortable with him, he might be more valuable than Buck. However, 13 is able to get the nice pinch, or nice close kill there with the SMG 11.
Yeah, that was a really good push by Sweater. I think we see these aggressive plays be a lot successful, as people just don't quite expect a sledge to kind of nade the bomb and instantly run in towards the side door. But as I say this, the attack is at a disadvantage of 3 versus 4, but they are getting the plant down. And it seems really uncontested. I don't know if the defenders were completely unaware, but they will get it down. Bolo picks up a kill, and Crooked making it 3 versus 3. Charge takes out Wholesale Milk. It is now 3 versus 2, 3 versus 1. And now it's 2 versus 1 in favor of the attackers. They've done a very good job to retake this, and we're going to be seeing Dot get the vertical angle on it, and I think Shash is coming up for that as well. So it looks like an impossible job for Yoga to win this. He will jump out. He will take out the Sharsh, leaving just Dot upstairs above the hatch, but he's going to play it patiently. He has the drone. And he's just going to wait, although he does peek and lose his life. Yoga apparently clutch master for Perplexed, and he will not get the defuse in time. Sorry, I thought he was going to get that then. Didn't see the timer, but extremely good attempt there by Yoga.
Yoga's got to be kicking himself because he had 3 rounds now where he finishes off the whole entire team on Dexterity and gets a big clutch, but he doesn't have enough time to win the round. Oh, so it's very unfortunate for him. 2 rounds he wasn't able to get the diffuser down, and then that round he wasn't able to stop the diffuser in time. So he's doing excellent work in this series in the final. So one of these rounds he's able to connect, and hopefully we'll have enough time to win the round. But Dexterity up 2-1 here. I believe this is their first lead in the series, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like they were leading at some point on Oregon.
Defenders, protect your
I think they may have been leading at some point, but that was like a back and forth 1-1-1. But we could be seeing the same here, but at the moment it's the first lead they could potentially keep. But as we've said, this is a hard defense to win. Perplexed not being able to do it, although technically you could argue they did win it, but just obviously in terms of the objective they weren't able to finish off the diffuser, and it did tick down. But it'll be interesting to see how Dexterity tried to get this lead, as they really do need it now. Obviously it's a shame because Clubhouse is one of those back and forth maps, but it's not what they need if they want to win this final. We're going to be seeing maybe some dedicated upstairs hold. Bolo reinforcing the master bedroom wall, so seeing a bit of difference and a shake-up here from Dexterity. Maybe the best chance we can see from them winning is just to throw Perplexed off and do some more interesting and strange strats.
Yeah, teams are a little fearful of trying to do new things on Clubhouse, which there's not a lot of room to really do anything out of the norm, because there's very little rotations available for the defenders. But they're going to be trying to hold up top here as long as possible, I'd imagine, just to have access to that pool hatch when they need to, and if there's like a strip push. Now, if there's a stock push from the attackers, I'm not really sure what they would do. Maybe they have a couple impact grenades. I'm not sure if Bolo, as Ella, has them in hand, but they are able to open up the walls to connect over into cash. But it looks like 13 is going to open up the strip wall, so this looks like it's going to be a strip push as far as I see.
Yeah, but there are only 2 attackers there. It is only Yoga, I think the chat's saying it's pronounced, and 13. So we could be seeing maybe a very flexible push. It seems the other attackers are trying to push the upstairs, maybe. It does look like Zanki is injured upstairs though, but not quite sure how the stack is going to go out, although it does seem to be a strip push. But we have seen attackers, as we're seeing Crooked right now, come up from the actual bar door. We've seen it be unsuccessful from another team, but it's not impossible. And Crooked will take out Dot as he jumps up onto the table to counter the push off. I was seeing another team kill come out. Sorry, this is happening very quickly. Perplexed will win, but with a team kill, so it's really interesting. I don't know what quite happened there, I guess. Outlines being off and not doing quite so well for their team, but a very decisive win there from the attack. Perplexed bringing it back 2-2.
Yeah, so Perplexed, they're staying in the contest, not letting Dexterity get too far away. They're able to tie it up here. It's been pretty back and forth the last 2 maps after Perplexed started off 5-0 on Border. Not sure if we're going to see that again the rest of the night. The same thing happened in the Contender series last night, where it's like Border was that one blowout map, and then all of a sudden it was like neck and neck for the rest of the series. So Clubhouse, it's pretty back and forth map, you can say. Teams should probably win on the basement site, and then defenders will probably lose on the bar for most scenarios. Probably not going to happen like that every single round, but that's just the basic model how things go. And you're going to be seeing a Legion come out from Zanki. He's going to get off the Echo. I believe, I think Yokai got taken out, and maybe that's why he's not going to be using him now, because they're probably expecting that play for him now, so they're going to try something else a little different and have goo mines at his disposal now.
Attackers have recovered.
Yeah, I think they realized the utility was wasted, and I think Zanki can have the utility be much better placed as Legion, as it will slow down that push we saw from Dexterity last time, which almost won them the round. But it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Bolo's doing his typical Bolo flicks there, but it's interesting to see how they're setting up. They have pre-opened the hole, which will make Sweater's job harder as they're waiting for him to go in the kitchen door and try to get the vertical play, which will lead him just to go around to the garage, it seems. I'm not interested to see, they're kind of still setting up. It's not quite certain how they're going to be attacking this yet, so I don't want to call anything, but it seems Dexterity spreading themselves out, and they're going to make the defenders kind of have to spread themselves out. We're going to be seeing the mirror placement that will look into blue, I think. I think she just placed that down. It will get Elled though.
That's actually a really interesting placement because that was a late placement, unless they're just late on their setup, but I think they got the call that the push is coming from blue, and then they set that black mirror facing into blue. So, and this is a really strong blue push from Dexterity, very aggressive. They have drones coming in and out. Bolo is able to get the kill on the 13 and Yoga. So he is in sight. It's 5v2 now. Bolo is doing all the work here. Swear is able to pick himself. So it's all up to wholesale milk with a minute and a half left. And he's off site, so the diffuser is most likely going to go down.
None of the hatches have been opened up, so he won't be able to abuse that. I don't know if that was done on purpose, but okay, one hatch has been opened up. It's really unfortunate there. The mirror not being able to use her own mirror, and Bolo will finish off wholesale milk. I think that was a nice 4K from Bolo there. Pushing in. The mirror allowed herself to get distracted by the 2 or 3 drones that were pushing in, and it allowed Bolo just to run in, finish off one, then finished off Yoga, and a really good round there overall by Dexterity. Obviously not expected to win this, so now Dexterity have won an attack onto downstairs, and now they get to go downstairs. So in a very strong position to put themselves on match point for this game, which is really what they need if they want to have any chance of coming back in terms of maps.
Yeah, Dexterity, they're doing a good job and an excellent rush there with Bolo taking charge as Ash. Probably no better operator to bring. And obviously Bolo is showing that he's capable of getting those kills that were needed for the entry fragger.
Yeah, I think the strongest we've seen Dexterity so far. Maybe they've done more practice into Clubhouse, but I think maybe they're finally learning how Perplexed are playing, and they're kind of countering onto that. I don't know if they chose not to do hatches on purpose because they saw they had the successful push into B, so they just all rushed in, and they didn't give Wholesale Milk the option to abuse the hatches, but either way it worked out really well for the attack, and he had to push into somebody on the mirror. I think he did light up somebody, but didn't quite get the shots, and Bolo finished him off. So we're going to be getting into this attack round here for Perplex, and it seems like we have that typical Thermite going onto the dirt tunnel. There's not many main changes onto this apart from the Ying. I don't know who that was traded out for. I think an Ash from Zanki. Yeah, seems Zanki is their flex player, and he just keeps changing up, kind of tweaking who they're going, just to kind of see who works best for them. We're hopefully going to be seeing some interesting plays from Ying as she pushes in with her smokes and Candela charges. And hopefully they're going to watch out Dot this time for any Thermite pushing down. I know Dot himself played Thermite and had a very successful push down Dirt the first attack round. Obviously didn't quite work out overall, but still he knows how effective that push can be. So I think he's going to be keeping an eye out for that. We're seeing a really interesting hiding spot from Bolo as he tries to avoid the attacker's drones there and let them be comfortable and not kind of think about any roamers.
And he's also having Charge's Yokai drone in pursuit with him, so it's going to be a roam with a Yokai drone assisting him, but they're just going to completely ignore it. I'm not sure if they're aware that Bolo is off-site and on the top floor. He is hiding under a desk, so they might have just passed him on a drive-by with the drone. So he might be able to do some damage later on in the round. We are halfway in. Hatches are getting opened up by Wholesale Milk, and Yoga's working on those black mirrors on the church wall. It's not going to get much contested. Hyper is playing on it, so you might go for a couple peeks or two. And now it looks like everyone's rotating to the kitchen hatch possibly, or just going to dirt. Can't really. Yeah, it looks like they're going for the kitchen hatch, and Bolo's still staying in place, despite all the ruckus right under him. So he might have to move soon with only a minute left in the round.
I think that's a clever play from him. I see way too many roamers get very aggressive. They're kind of immediately when they know where people are coming from, but waiting until the last like 45-30 seconds will mean the attackers really won't be on guard because they're thinking way too much about getting that plant down, and it can be seen to be extremely effective. As we see Yaga not looking, and Ella will pick up the kill, injures him, and finishes him off. And it's now a 2 versus 3. Hyper and Bolo have to push and retake onto the diffuser, which has been planted. And he's going to do another round. We're seeing Dexterity is really interesting runouts where they come up from or down into Dirt Tunnel. But Crook will be now back in kitchen on the hatch, waiting for Bolo to push in from Dirt Tunnel. And we also see Bandit here lying down waiting. I think this could be a bit too passive for a 2 versus 3 retake. And Bolo will get taken out by Wholesale Milk, leaving just the Bandit, who will get taken out by Crook. Hyper. So we're seeing another attack, successful attack onto downstairs. Really not what Dexterity wanted or needed, but that's what's going to happen. And we're now going to be 3-3. And we're close to match point for one of the teams, but it's whether that person can abuse that match point. As we see now, they're going to be going back downstairs by Perplexed.
Yeah, it might have been a little unwise for Bolo to go for the rotate into dirt, because he was going to get detected, unless there's just some magical way you just don't get detected if you happen to sprint there and just in time. But I don't think that's really possible. So I know he was getting pressured in kitchen, so it made him flee that way, but he did get detected, which gave away his position to go for the retake. And now we're seeing 3-3 here on Clubhouse, so it's pretty back and forth like the last map. And we're seeing Zanky. He did it in the semifinals, but now he's bringing out the Frost once again. Frost's Welcome Mask didn't really do any damage in the semifinals, but he was able to find some sneaky places to put them, such as maybe Dirt Tunnel. It is rather dark in there. That might come into effect. He is bringing the Super 90, which he did in the semifinals, and he was able to get a couple kills. He actually stole an ace from Wholesale Milk with the Super 90 in one scenario. So I'm not sure if he feels comfortable on Frost, if he likes Frost, or is this an operator pick that they feel is good for the site, but it'd be interesting to see if it'll work out or not.
Yeah, I think sometimes doing something really unexpected might not be typically as kind of good. Like with the Frost Super 90 might not be considered very kind of comp style, but if it's unexpected and you kind of play the Super 90 the way you're meant to play the Super 90, if that makes sense, then it can actually be really successful. Dexterity might struggle, as no one really kind of is ready for a Frost rushing at them with one of the most strongest semi-autos at close range. But we're going to be seeing Dexterity kind of just establish upstairs control. Dot will pick up onto Zanky down those main stairs there, making... Oh, there you go. There's the Frost off the board. Not able to be used, but it looks like he was on extremely low health, which means he will have to be reset. So some work was done, I suppose, as now Dot can only take 2 or 3 bullets just before instantly dying. Yaga is going to be on extremely low health now, as he did get picked up, but so is Sweater. We're seeing very back and forth gameplay, but this is looking to be in the favor of Dexterity, but having to give some resets. As I said, Yaga does pick up onto Sweater, finishing off that, making it back 4-4. It looks like the attackers kind of set themselves up. The hatches have been opened up, and the lines of sight are about to be established. Shash going to be dropping into Moto, Hyper picking up onto Wholesale Milk, and now Dot finishing Yaga. It's now just 13 and Crooked in what looks like some decent positions, I'd say. Crooked's going to be playing in blue onto Moto, but he will get flashed out now, and he will try and pre-fire through the wall. It seems it's going to be a heavy church push, and 13 has to now win a 1 versus 3 as Crooked lets himself get seen, and Hyper finishes off 13, and he now loses the match for his team, bringing Dexterity back in the lead. Match point for 3.
Yeah, the F2 doing a lot of work there for Hyper. It's a very strong weapon and a very high fire rate. It's probably going to get nerfed in the coming seasons, I would imagine, because Twitch is just incredibly strong in the current meta right now, with the accessibility to take out black mirrors and such.
I think they have confirmed the F2 is going to be getting changed on one of the community panels. I think they said that the F2 will be getting nerfed at some point. I'm not quite sure on that, but
yeah, it's a very strong gun. And coming into the invitational season, it was very worrisome that Ying Glaz meta was going to break out rapid. It didn't really come up too much, so we saw teams bring it every now and then. They did bring Glaz and Ying, but not really together, working together all too much. But it looks like Perplexed is bringing that out now. It'll be interesting to see if they're actually going for that Ying Glaz combo that everyone was thinking that was going to happen, and see if that's going to work on this site. I mean, this is probably like the best site it's going to work on, because you can just put Glaz on Dirt Tunnel just to get a nice sight through Arsenal Room, and then Ying could probably just throw Smoke and Cadellas down the kitchen hatch and make it able for them to go for the defuse plan.
Yeah, it's interesting to see it come out now. It's more of an EU meta to have a Glaz and a Ying, I've heard, but it will be coming out now, as you say, and I think it could work really effectively for this site. 13 already picking up a kill onto Dot. I don't know what he was doing. I think maybe he got caught out a little bit too late into the round in Dirt Tunnel, maybe, not quite sure. But that is definitely going to help Perplexed, as they need to win this state in overtime and stay on map point for the final. Not good for Dexterity. I was going to say Dexterity are in a very good position to win out this map, being 4 versus 3 on a basement defense, but yep, Jaeger was taken out in Dirt Tunnel. I'm not sure if he was trying to challenge that drone hole or if he was still reinforcing, but either way, a mistake on behalf of Dexterity. And we're going to be seeing another semi-auto shotgun come out from Shash. Let's see if this one can be any more effective than the Super 90. It looks like Jaeger's already going to be pushing up to the Dirt Tunnel door now. He's just going to get that line of sight onto the behind the crates on blue, but Shash is going to try and push up that C4 throw, actually, and it will take down Jaeger onto half health, and she's going to push, and this time the semi-auto will win out against Blackbeard, not as it did last round, and Shash will make it 4-4 and refrag back on from the loss they had from Dot. Hyper picks up onto 13, now not looking so good for Perplex, as it is 3 against 4 for them, and it seems Wholesale not going to be playing Dirt, and they will be playing Hatch with Glaz. Hyper's got to be careful not to peek this, as he doesn't have the sight that Glaz does. Bowler will pick up onto Crooked and go into Kitchen. It doesn't look like Wholesale is ready, and he's not, and he down Bowler knifing him, now leaving 1 versus 3. Zanky gets 2 kills, it's now 1 versus 2, but Sweater just wins the shot, and that will be the first map win for Dexterity, and we're now going to be seeing a 2-1 lead in terms of maps for Perplexed, but there is still a chance for Dexterity to come back, and it looks like we will be seeing Bank, which should be an interesting map.
Yeah, so Dexterity able to win here on Clubhouse, getting their first map, like you said. Strong play from both teams, but it seemed like Dexterity was just able to have much more fragging potential. You see Yaga have 10 kills there, so coming up very strong here on Clubhouse. Now we're going to map number 4 on Bank, and this is a map that, like you said, you and I haven't really gotten to cast much. I haven't gotten to cast Bank too much because it usually doesn't get picked too much. Most of the time in the ESA, teams tend to pick like the more favorable maps or popular maps like Border or Oregon, and when it just leaves maps like Bank or a couple others like Cafe on the wayside, because they are larger maps, and I guess teams just don't favor them as much. But I'm really interested to see what the teams do on Bank, because it's not really a defined meta. Like you had the basement hold, but outside of that, it's kind of up in the air what teams want to do.
Yeah, I said before how we saw in the Invitational when Bank was played, and there's a lot of differing strats from different teams. We saw Penta and I think it was Ents kind of start to do this top floor hold for downstairs and archives, where it was quite interesting. You play the mirrors and you have lines of sight downstairs, but I don't know how quite these teams, whether they've developed these kinds of strats. We might see something more we're used to, but we are going to be seeing Dexterity starting on defense this time, and they will pick the bottom floor. I think the bottom floor is kind of the same as the Armory lockers for Armory and Church on Clubhouse, it's seen as the best site. You don't really see much variation. I mean, I think some of the other sites are a lot more viable, but I think lockers and CCTV is still a lot more favored when we come to comp play.
Yep, so we'll be heading into map number 4, which is Bank. Perplexed is leading 2-1 in map count, and it's still map point. However, if Dexterity is able to win here, we'll go into map number 5 on Chalet, and the winner will be determined there. But for now, we're on Bank, and it looks like it's going to be Dexterity on the first defense and Armory and CCTV, or Locker's CCTV site.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how they're going to be setting this up. It doesn't seem to have a mirror, which has kind of always been a given for basement. And they are just going to open up the holes. I'm interested to see how they're going to play, whether they're just going to hope to win their gunfights and play a lot more aggressively. We've seen how aggressive Hyper, Sweater, and Bolo can be, and they're playing the characters kind of right for it. Although we've seen how effective Sweater is as a mirror, and he's just not going for it. There is a Twitch on the other team. Maybe they just didn't want to spend too much time worrying about the Twitch, as we've seen how annoying she can be to defensive teams as she just takes out the mirror, sneaks up on you, and just makes that utility worthless. Well, not completely worthless, but still, it kind of ruins the effects she can have. We're going to be seeing an aggressive push, however, from Perplexed. Yaga swinging in to wholesale milk on the top floor. They're just going to be establishing really early kind of lines of sight upstairs, kind of denying any roam game on the top floor from Dexterity.
Yeah, so we are the first minute in. Attackers are warming up towards site. I haven't gotten to see if there's too much of a roam game, but they are relying on Dot to have the long sight with the ACOG back and lockers into CCTV. So it's an interesting concept there. And they do have Sweater there as smoke right around the corner in Red Hallway, but we're going to see the roam clear right now. And like I said, I'm not sure if there's much of a roam presence. And it just looks like everyone's just deciding this to hold site without mirror, which is very interesting to see.
Yeah, I wasn't quite expecting that, but as we say that, Bolo and Hyper prove us wrong by running up those stairs. Not quite sure if Hyper did follow through, but definitely Bolo followed through, and now he's going to be trying to get that flank as he's realised they're all pushing CCTV extremely hard. I'm expecting to see some smokes come out from Sweater, however, as they are trying to get that plant off and bait it. But as I say that, Zanki and Wholesale both pick up kills onto Dot and Sweater. It's not looking promising for Dexterity. I'm not sure why they don't have a mirror for a 5-man or a 4-man defensive hold. Bolo will get taken out by Crooked. Now at least Hyper all the way on the top floor, and Shash from the bottom floor trying to challenge these angles onto a Blackbeard. I don't think this looks very promising here for Dexterity, and I imagine we're going to be seeing Perplex winning out this round. But, you know, interesting things can happen. Looks like Hyper's right next to someone on the blue stairs. Hyper does pick up the counter Zanki. Hyper then picks up the counter Yaga. Shash picks up the counter Wholesale Milk. It's now a 2 versus 2. Really unexpected here, however. Thermite 13 does see him defusing, gets killed by Hyper. And defenders win. As I said, more interesting things have happened. It does happen. And it does seem we're going to be seeing Dexterity win this. Shash getting the defuse, Hyper covering his back. Perplexed must be kicking themselves right now, as what seemed like such a sure victory was torn apart by Hyper and his flank.
Yeah, Dexterity get a nice retake there, narrowly escaping that round with a round win. They were able to get the defuse off, or stop the diffuser, and able to kill Thermite too. Not having a mirror on that site is a little worrisome. I'm not sure if they're going to change it up. They did have Doc way back in lockers, but he was taken out. So I'm not really sure if you can replace the duties of Mira by having someone with the ACOG from far away.
No, definitely not, especially when it's a Blackbeard peeking onto you. That face shield's going to cover 2 or 3 shots by the Doc, and then by that point the Doc will be dead. By the way, I'd also just quickly like to apologise that somebody in the chat did spoil the Dexterity's win last map. Hopefully this won't happen again. I think they probably forgot about the 4-minute delay. But we are going to be going into round number 2, and it looks like we're going to be seeing another downstairs hold here by Perplexed, but they this time will be bringing Mirror. along with a Pulse and an Echo again. Zanki bringing out this Echo, who has been known to be a lot more effective for this site, as you can sit back in gold and cash or vault and sit on that drone, and you won't be nearly as exposed as some of the other maps we've seen. So we can see Echo be a lot more effective now. And we're seeing also the smoke, so they're making quite a few changes. Wholesale not getting off that Jaeger going onto smoke, so I imagine we'll have Echo with the MP5 SD this time, because we're going to have that smoke with the shotgun. There's no roll to replace. Yep, there we go. He is on the MP5 SD. And I imagine he'll be trying to get the long angles that Doc got last time, but after using his drone for intel and info. You're seeing an interesting double mirror hold. You know, having one backup, they do have a Twitch, sorry, to take out mirrors, but by the time he's taken out one, the other one should be safe. It's quite a sensible idea for that double mirror strap, because if one gets taken out by a Twitch drone, you can then hold back to the other one, or forward to the other one, depending on which one is taken out. Let's see,
Yeah.
a minute gone, oh, sorry.
No, it's just the first minute up. Attackers working on the site, or the hatches, my bad. And looks like Dot is able to get in the server and get pretty close to CCTV. Oh, he just misses the head of Wholesale Milk. So he's gonna have to make sure he keeps his head down for probably the time being. And everyone's laying down, just trying to get some angles, or trying to dodge the Blackbeard's fire. But it's kind of interesting. I'm not really sure what they're trying to do, unless they can maybe get their heads peeked from the crouching from the mirror, the black mirror, but I don't think that's possible. But they're gonna be holding on to lockers with just over a minute left. Dot is working on CCTV, and he's getting tracked by a Yaga, and so they know exactly who's there and who's not. So a strong hold so far, but there's a rest of the attackers that still come. And we're gonna see.
Where's it dropping in? Sorry. So a double C4 from Yaga. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but that was a really interesting push there. They were going to try to get the rest of the plant using that Ying. Instead, Yaga just said no. Frozen that C4, killing both of them. Now Bolo tries to drop in. The mirror has been taken out. He did just miss that angle onto the person playing in Crash. Crooked will pick up onto Bolo. He wasn't expecting someone to be holding there. That's 5 versus 1, 4 versus 1, and 4 versus 0. Crooked does finish onto Hyper. I didn't mean to interrupt you there. But a really impressive round.
Yeah, a great round win there for Perplexed. Or, yeah, Perplexed, sorry. So it should be 1-1. So it's been pretty neck and neck throughout the series so far. And both teams showing that they can do some work. Both defenses winning on the basement hold. But now we have to go elsewhere. And it looks like Dexterity is going to go to the Teller's Archives site. I think this is probably the second strongest site. You do have the kitchen open area, and then you have the top floor. I think those are a little hard to defend because of all the different angles you can get a shot from. Archives and Teller seems a little bit more enclosed. So if you have a really good setup on this site, I think you can certainly pull it off.
Yeah, I think we're seeing some interesting strats come out as well for this site. They're not going to be taking a mirror, so I don't think they're going to be going for too much of a hard upstairs hold that we've seen from the invitationals with the angles down to below, but we're seeing a Vigil come out, which is, I think, the first time we're seeing Vigil tonight, which he can be good for the site, because it's such a big map in the roam games, so not being able to quite locate where he is upstairs or on the flank, it can be really hard as an attacker to kind of take him out and finish him off. So we're seeing, we're going to see if Hyper can use Vigil really effectively here to kind of waste the attacker's time, as that's really what he's for in terms of his utility. I'll be seeing Sweater playing that Doc again. It's interesting to see them not wanting mirror for this map. Sweater instead trading out for that Doc. Josh staying on that Valkyrie, because it's such a big map. Valkyrie can be very effective at getting information. But it seems we're going to be seeing quite a big lobby push here from Perplexed. The Blackbeard's going to be going up on those windows, trying to get the angles, making sure no one's upstairs, peeking down onto the lobby, I imagine. Seems Bolo just getting ready for a flank. I imagine he's not playing in sight. He's just going to be looking at the cams, making sure he can come up with an area where to push from. As I said, he is in sight, and he will be on his cam, just getting information for his team for Hyper roaming as Vigil. Oh, there we go, he's pushing out. He picks up a kill onto Zanki, not expecting the Ella to push out behind the desk, and now he will rotate back into the site. Crooked will be playing downstairs. He doesn't realize Vigil is right next to him, and as I say that, he sees the Vigil and kills him. Hyper being taken out, making that a 4 versus 4. It's a nice retrade from Crooked, and now we're going to be seeing Thermite getting these walls open potentially right now. The Valkyrie camp does get missed, but they know it's there, and it seems Bolo goes for a pre-fire, but Wholesale Milk will be there to stop him, and he takes out Bolo. Now 4 versus 3. This is looking good for Perplexed, but it was looking good last time and it didn't quite work out. Oh, that's a really interesting rotation area. I've not seen that before, but we'll see how much of effect this can come to. It seems Thermite does go off successfully, and now it'll be very hard for Charge to play around.
Yeah, so we have a minute and a half left in the round. Sweater is playing the hold tellers area. Can he do it? He does have the ACOG to get some nice angles onto the doorways, but if he gets discovered, he can easily get pre-fired on. And Dot is going to shotgun Yaga, and now he's going to exit potentially. And he's going to just rotate, and he's not going to get met by anyone else. Sweater is able to get that kill onto Wholesale Milk. Sweater is able to get another one to make it 2v1. It's all up to 13. He's looking on the angle, and he just might book around the corner, but no, Sweater is going to clutch it out, getting, I believe, 3 kills that round as Doc. So a lot of nice sight work there from Sweater.
Yeah, again, Dexterity surprising me. I kind of called out that it looked strong for Perplexed, but I did say, you know, it looked strong before and they kind of choked that lead, and again they have. That means Dexterity will now be in the lead 2-1. I mean, I'm going to be seeing an upstairs hold from Perplexed. More interesting. I think it's becoming more viable as strats become developed for it, but still, it's still considered quite a weak site to hold as a whole entire site, so it'll be interesting to see what they can do. They are bringing out the Mirror, as well as a Vigil who does get changed to a Jaeger. Probably a better idea, as there's going to be a lot of throwables coming into their way in the places like the janitor's closet. But we will get started here, and it seems actually Sweater's pick is kind of wasted. I imagine they expected an Archives hold because they have gone fuse, but obviously it's going to be a lot harder for him to fuse the site as there will only be the windows, which can be easily countered in the RDADSs, so I don't imagine we'll see too much from fuse there, but I think that's kind of a good choice to go upstairs from Perplexed. Now that's quite a lot of utility wasted, as Dot will struggle to get more vertical play. He will have to go beneath to get that vertical play instead of above, so
10 seconds to go.
I think Perplexed has done a good job to go upstairs. It could actually work out in their favor, as the attacks lineup just really isn't ready for this kind of thing. Although it's a shame they don't have a bandit because there are no Thatchers to take out the wall. But I'm going to see that. I'm going to see a push here from the attack, it seems, onto the windows from Sharsh and Sweater, and Bolo's going to be coming in through the lobby by the looks of it. But Yaga is going to get droned out playing downstairs, trying to deny that vertical play from Buck and have his own vertical play of his cardiac sensor.
Yeah, it was an interesting read that, you know, Perplexed is able to go to the site, and it was a nice one too, because Sweater decided to bring along Fuse, which is very good for going on Archives, going against Archives site. But now he's pretty much useless because now he has to attack the top floor and he has nowhere to place his cluster charges. And as I was talking, Dot was going to be taken out, I believe, from a long angle, potentially from outside. Now didn't catch who got the kill. But we're nice. Oh, okay. So a nice sight line from there. So now that's Buck off the board. So you might have been able to do some work from underneath, but no, Crooked is going to be working underneath from the site, and as well as Yaga. So Bolo is actually going to repel in from the lobby. He's going to be trying to get some nice angles there. He's able to hide behind that lamp, and I'm not sure if he gets the catch off Crooked, he might be able to secure the kill. But I'm sure everyone got the sound cue that he might be there, but Crooked might just kind of stay put there as long as he doesn't need to rotate.
Really interesting Bolo doing this. It's kind of considered a stupid play to rappel down the skylight, but as we see, stupid or not, it does get him a kill, as well as Hyper getting a kill onto Yaga after Yaga killed Sweater. So now it is going to be 3 versus 3. No one in favor quite yet, but that's the downstairs play gotten rid of. Bolo and Hyper finishing that off. Really nice there from Bolo, kind of baiting that Ella into peeking, throwing the flash upstairs, making her want to come and flank. But now we see Bolo for real pushing onto this upstairs room here. And it's looking quite promising for the attack, as they now have lines of sight all the way through, and they have the wall opened up. Wait, they did have the wall opened up. I think. Does C4 come out? Oh no, he thermited the right one, but it looks like 13 will be having problems with Ash as they try and peek onto him. He's going to hold his ground though, be patient. He's not going to give his life away too quickly. Bolo will drain him out, however. I think we're going to be seeing a confrontation quite soon, as she is getting pinched. She's the last one upstairs, I think, in terms of the attackers next to sight. Zanky picks up a kill onto Shash, leaving that 3 versus 2. 13 picks up onto Bolo, now 3 versus 1. It seems we're seeing it in the other way now for Perplexed. Finally able to win out a round, finishing off onto Hyper, making that 3-0 in terms of man count. And now we're going to be seeing it 3-3, I believe, in terms of score.
Yeah, that was a nice hold from Perplex. Apparently there's some issues where Charge couldn't walk to the thermite hole. So I'm not sure what happened there. But I got the above view of the site when we were looking over, and the whole site was completely demolished. There was holes in the wall, and then the whole floor was opened up. So you can definitely tell there was a battle there. I believe they were actually using the site to look up into it, but from archives. But yeah, it was definitely destroyed. So now it's going to be tied up 2-2 here. And it looks like I didn't see who that was. I think Bolo has 5 kills, and the next person only had 1. So, oh no. Well, there's some other players, but they have a couple. Yaga and Milka have 1, and that was actually for Perplexed. So I know some of you wanted to see the scoreboard in the chat.
Yeah. We're going to be going back downstairs now, as they did win out archives, and so they get to go to what is considered the better site now. But we're going to be seeing if Perplexed can actually win this out, because last time it was a 4 versus 2. They had the diffuser planted, they had their angles on the hatches, the angles downstairs, but Hyper with his flank as Bandit, managing to take out all 4 of them, leaving Shars to destroy the diffuser. So I wonder if we're going to see anything quite as interesting as that this time. But we are going to get into the round. I think we're going to be seeing some changes to the lineup, as Yaga does take Jackal. We're seeing maybe Dot playing quite aggressively here onto the dirt tunnel, waiting for them to come up. It looks like he could get drained out by 13. Nope. Looks like 13 does miss him with his drone. Actually, I'm not sure if they're baiting him. I think they might have seen him, and I think Blackbeard's trying to bait him now. Yeah. Dot just backs off. I think he realizes he might have been found out, and now he's just trying to get the information with his cardiac sensor on blue stairs, which might not be considered the safest place to be the information gatherer. But we are going to be seeing Zanky push in through dirt tunnel now, peeking into the site with his SR-25.
And we're actually seeing Dexterity opt not to bring the Mira. We're seeing Zanky able to secure the kill into Dot in the server room. He was able to tear through his first Delta shield, but he does have a second one at hand in the first minute. So let's see if this Mira play is actually going to come up or not. They almost lost the first round on this hold. So it'll be interesting to see. Crooked is able to pick off Bolo on the roam game. So that's 1 roamer down, and Yaga is Jackal, so he's able to detect where the roamers are. Zanky is able to get another kill on the Sweater. So Sweater was maybe peeking out a little too far there to throw that remote gas grenade, and you'll get punished for that one.
Seeing so deja vu.
Yeah. That's not bringing the mirrors. It's really tough for the defenders to hold that site.
Yeah, we are saying deja vu. Hyper picks up 2 of them. However, Charge will be taken out this time, and the plant hasn't quite gone down yet, leaving Hyper a push onto 3 attackers. He's using that same top balcony used last time, but I think this time Hyper is out of luck, as Charge is taken out, and they will be waiting for him on the other side, so it's leaving him to rotate, which will waste a lot of the time. Yeah, he will get jackaled as well. I think this could be the end for Hyper. He does pick up onto Yaga a little bit though, kind of bringing down his health, but he has to push onto 3 attackers through the main stairs, which is just 1 doorway, and as I say, that Zanky will finish off Hyper, and that will end the round. This time Perplex able to keep the lead they gained in the beginning of the round. Hyper not quite able to clutch it for his team this time.
Yeah, so that would make Perplex up 3-2 now. And they're just inching their way towards possibly winning this map here. They are in the lead, but Dexterity could obviously tie it back up with another round win. But if Perplexed is able to pull away 4-2, it might not be looking so good for Dexterity because they would have to win 2 rounds there to go to overtime. So be interesting to see what happens this round because it's going to be one of the bigger rounds so far, as you're seeing Perplexed go to lockers and CCTV. I'll be seeing Zanky bringing the Echo once again. Echo, I think it's a little bit more better on this site than he is on sites on Clubhouse, such as the Arsenal room. But it'll be interesting to see what happens here. They are bringing Smoke and Mira, so they're going with a more standard hold here. And usually you see Pulse and Ella. So yeah, you imagine Yaga is going to be holding it into gold just to watch all the server activity of the attackers.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, I think we could possibly see Perplexed going to match point here. But, I mean, this map so far has been extremely surprising. We're seeing things we don't really expect. People clutching in what seems like unbeatable odds. So, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if Perplexed did lose this round. But there is possibly the strongest site, and they are bringing the strongest operators for it. You have that Pulse to kind of get the information from gold. You have the Echo to deny plant with Smoke to kind of deny entry, as well as the Mirror this time. I'm really surprised that Dexterity is just choosing to ignore that Mirror because we've seen how hard it's made them. Both people trying to play those holes they create just die instantly without that Mirror. So I'm surprised they haven't changed it up so far. And we're just getting into this round here. The attack are going to be pushing aggressively upstairs, gaining quite dominance, but it seems we're going to have 5 people down here having a very strong hold. Something that Dexterity don't do themselves. So we're seeing both teams approach the sites very differently. Obviously, Dexterity throwing archives. Dot does pick up a kill onto Wholesale Milk, which will be the Smoke already down. That's a lot of utility wasted, especially for this site as he's been so effective at denying plant. But you know, the Echo could be just as effective, and we still have 2 C4s, I imagine, from Yaga and 13. So it's not quite over for them, but it's definitely a rip, as Wholesale Milk has said in the chat.
Yeah, losing the Smoke so early is definitely going to cause Perplexed because they're not able to stall that defuse plant for X amount of time with those remote smoke grenades, and Hyper's able to get the pick on the Crooked from the main stairs. So they might be able to see a little bit of flank here and pressure from the backside. They're forcing 13 to go into the cash room. And Hyper's actually going to run into locker. He's going to be taken down by Yaga. So it's now a 3v2 now, or 4v2. And now Sharsh is going for the defuse. Now it's just all up to Zanky, and he'll be finished off by Sweater. So Dexterity is able to tie it up here. 3-3.
Yeah, it's really what they need. And that was a good round from them, as I said. Although it seemed like it was in Perplexed's favour to win this. I know Dexterity are a very capable team, and they kind of just took apart that defense there, not leaving Perplexed much chance to win that out. So we are going to be going back downstairs again if both teams have lost it. So we're going to be seeing a locker CCTV room, and I'll be interested to see if Dexterity do choose to finally bring back that Mirror, and they do. Dot will be on that Mirror now. Probably a better choice, as we've seen how it takes apart their defense. I mean, I'm going to be seeing that Smoke from Sweater. Interesting that Dot and Sweater have swapped around there, as Sweater's typically the better Mirror player. Also not going to be seeing the Valkyrie from Sharsh either. Sharsh will be moving on to Castle, which is interesting. So we're seeing Dexterity really make some big changes to push out this win that they have been struggling to get for the past few rounds. I think we could see a successful hold. It seems Sharsh is actually playing upstairs with Mirror, which is quite interesting. They're going to be trying to hold off the attack. Placing a lot of utility up there. They have castles, they have a Mirror. I imagine they will be opening up the hatch here. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. They're really changing it up, and I'm not sure that Perplexed will be ready for this quite so yet. And we could see a really good, interesting upstairs hold. Although it is a lot. There's 4 people upstairs. We see a 5-man hold from Perplexed, and now we see 4 people on the upstairs in the meeting, all kind of clustering up in there. We see Sharsh going back downstairs, however. But again, it's really interesting to see how these 2 teams differ so much on this map. you know, for most of the other maps, we've been seeing very similar strategy from both sides, kind of seeing the same back and forth with the same kind of strats. But you know, this map has been a lot more interesting, I think, in terms of how the two teams choose to fight, because we're getting a lot of difference, and I think it's kind of showing how even it is, so how well they're doing to kind of stop these pushes and to kind of push themselves.
Yeah, like you said, this is an interesting hold by Dexterity, and it'll be interesting to see how Perplexed deals with it. It looks like they just might try to go for the regular server push here. You know, you're gonna see Crooked actually sneak his way up through Garage. Bull is able to pick off 13, and Crooked is able to get the kill in the sweater. He's gonna flank back into Garage. So frags are going out here, and server about halfway through the round almost. Still pretty early in the round. Now Dexterity is trying to, or Perplexed is trying to work their way towards site. I know that was yeah. Sorry, Perplexed.
Yeah, all the 3 defenders will be upstairs, which means, and I think they realize this. Crooked just pushes into B. I don't know who has the diffuser. Doesn't seem anyone has diffuser, but all they have to do now is just retain that site control and get the diffuser down, and it's just going to be another retake story that we've been seeing. The flashes come out, there is no Ying, but Blackbeard on the Zanki does have it. Charge pushes aggressively though, just like Hengu did, and he gets the 2 kills with his UMP like we saw in the Invitationals. Really interesting play there. It's kind of exactly the same. Dot picks up onto Crooked. That's a 2 versus 1. The tables have turned what seems so easy for the attackers goes different in favor, and now Dot has taken out Wholesale Milk. So again, seeing Dexterity be really, really good at their takes here. What always seems like a really strong position for Perplexed kind of turns into just a kill feed of dead Perplexed members, and that means now Dexterity will be in the lead on match point 4-3. I imagine they're going to be trying their hardest to win this downstairs push as they did last time and win out this map.
Now, we only saw it for a brief second, but that was actually an insane angle from Dexterity. They had, you can see from blue stairs the whole way through kitchen into open area from what I think I saw. They were playing that from the black mirror the whole way into open area. So that was a really long angle for the defenders to use. And if the attackers just go for a straight server push, which happened, and that will allow the defenders to go collapse on top of them. And that's exactly pretty much what happened. They went for the standard server push. They didn't really try to clear out any roamers at all, really. So the defenders were able to collapse. I think if they would have tried to contest the roamers and force the roamers to go back to site, they probably would have been a lot more successful on their push. But that's not how it really went. And hopefully they'll see that and try to use that for the next attack if they get there, because now Dexterity has match point. So if they win this next round, then we'll be going to map number 5, believe it or not.
Yeah, we have seen Dexterity having a successful attack on downstairs. They did last time they attacked this. So this is looking in the favor of Perplexed, but as I said, this map so far has been full of surprises, and we really could see a change up here, and a change in pace. They do have the same lineup, however, so we're not seeing much change in terms of strategy from the defending team of Perplexed, but we could see that maybe their positioning be a little bit different. And it'll be interesting to see how this round goes ahead. And yet again, we're seeing really early upstairs meeting control from Hyper as he just runs in, places that Claymore down. Seems Bolo is going to be clearing top floor along with Ying's drone. And they're just getting a lot of upstairs dominance, but I think yet again we're going to be seeing a 5-man hold from Perplexed, which I don't think maybe is working out too well for them. We've seen how easy it is for Dexterity just to come in, take out the hatches, get the angles, and just pick them off one by one in the site. So it's actually interesting to see maybe Crooked not coming for a flank instead and staying upstairs, but we don't know, it could work out in their favor this time. We're going to be seeing the hatches opened up, and Sweater does get the angle down. I'm not sure if he did get the Hibana onto the mirror, but Twitch definitely got the mirror. Hyper taking that out, making that utility useless. It's going to make it extremely hard for the defenders to win this round out, as that is one of their key gadgets they use to get the line of sight on the plant.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Yeah, so we're halfway through the round. Dexterity is working their way towards site. Now there is 5 site players, like you mentioned, which there's very few sites on this game where you can just have everyone just total up on site and just try to draw out 3 minutes of a constant attack. As you see, Yaga get the pick onto Dot with the Nitro Cell. A nice pick there. I'm not sure if that was pre-placed. I don't think so. He was just going for the toss, but he is working in gold now. You see Milk take out Hyper, so it's working pretty well so far for the defenders. Now it's 5v2. Diffuser goes down, but there's only 2 attackers to spare. Bolo and Sweater are the only ones left. And you do have them above the hatches. Now Sweater's gonna be right above it. Now it looks like everyone's just contemplating how they want to go. Zanky's able to get the kill from the flank. Now it's 3v1. Sweater, he's gonna be taken out. So now the fuse will be stopped here. Perplexed winning this round. So we go into overtime. 4-4. Once again, this time on Bank.
Yeah, really not what Dexterity needed. They really need that win. I genuinely thought they could have clutched back from that. As I said, this map was full of surprises, you know. It was the same lineup, same defense, but Perplexed this time just not able to quite win the gunfights. We saw Hyper light up that mirror, but not able to finish it off. And I just think overall Dexterity just kind of choked some of their shots there that we saw them win last time, and that just allowed Perplexed to, you know, drag through this round. And as you said, we're now going to be in overtime, and we could see Perplexed win the final here on Bank, but I imagine Dexterity won't let that go easily, and we could easily see the 5th map come in.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Alright, like I mentioned, it is overtime. And this has been a grudge match between these 2 teams. Every single map except for Border, Perplexed was able to win 5-0. If you're just joining us now, Dexterity has 1 map under their belt, Perplexed has 2. We are on map 4. And this is pretty much coming down to the wire here. If we're going to map number 5 or not, or Perplexed is going to win the title here on Bank. Now we are seeing Dexterity, I believe, on the defense. And they actually are bringing a mirror this time. So after 2 unsuccessful rounds, or 1 successful round, narrowly, and then 1 unsuccessful round, they decided just to give it up and bring the mirror and see how it works out for them.
They did bring the mirror last defense actually, and they were playing that upstairs, but I'm not sure how successful that was.
They were playing a little bit differently, but they didn't have the black mirror on site, I believe.
I think they might have had 1 and they played the 1 upstairs.
Okay.
But it seems they might be changing that up again though. I'm not quite sure. The upstairs hold wasn't too good last time, I'm not sure. If I'm honest, I can't quite remember.
Site.
Yeah, they collapsed onto site well, but
yeah, it was pretty much of a blowout.
Yeah. The upstairs hold itself didn't really amount to much, and it just came into a refrag and a retake strategy from the defenders. So hopefully we can see it be a little bit different. We're going to see Yaga gaining quick dominance upstairs. Zanky is already going to be downed in Dirt Tunnel. Oh, he's going to crawl out behind the desk. I'm not quite sure. Obviously, points are off, so they probably won't know this. So he's going to try and get over to Twitch. If anyone does happen to peek that, they might just be able to catch him off. But no, it looks like he will get picked up here. That's quite a unfortunate there for Zanky so early into the round to be downed, as he now can't be injured again, and he will lose his life every time he gets any shots taken, and all he does is take 2 or 3 shots. But I think we're going to be seeing maybe a bit more dedication to pushing upstairs here from Yaga, as he is going to try and challenge that mirror. He does see the mirror, shoots, doesn't quite get the kill though. He lights Dot up to like 2 health, however, and that is going to put Dot at a very awkward disposition, and he will see, and he will get taken out. Yaga finishes off Dot, leaving just what looks like Hyper as Bandit, and he will get taken out. Yaga finishing him off. So that upstairs hold, not successful. Yaga did challenge it this time, and that will work out in their favor, as they can't have any upstairs defenders go for the retake strategy. Really, really bad here for Dexterity right now, leaving just 3 versus 5, and it looks like all will be on site. Shash will be playing in Garage, Bolo near the Vault hatch, and Sweater trying to challenge onto the door of Archives. Not Archives, sorry, CCTV.
Yeah. So 40 seconds left. Interesting to see Perplexed just go push directly towards where those mirrors were placed. But now they're going into sight. 13 breathing in some of those toxic fumes. And now Shark's going for the knife. He actually misses, but he's able to get the kill on the wholesale milk. Now he's going to be in sight. He's up the crooked, and then he'll be able to get the kill on the Shark. So Perplexed able to win this first round in overtime on Bank. So they are 1 round away from winning this championship.
Yeah, this is getting really interesting and heated up now. I'm going to be interested to see where Dexterity chooses to defend this time. You might see them choose to go upstairs if they were successful there. But yeah, we'll see now. I can't quite see where they're going right this second. But we're seeing Yaga, sorry, do a lot of work for his team. Already in double digits. I mean, already in double digits. We are an overtime match point. But he's doing a lot of work. And they are going to be going... Teller's Office Archives. Yep. Oh, no, it's Perplexed defending. Sorry, I'm not quite worth it. But they are choosing to go upstairs rather than downstairs. If you've seen them lose last time downstairs. Maybe a good decision. They haven't actually defended this site yet, so it'll be interesting to see how Dexterity kind of takes this approach, as they haven't had a chance to see how Perplex hold this. And we've seen it looks like they've got a lot of downstairs players. They aren't bringing that thermite, which is typically used for an archives push. They haven't got the smoke, the fuse that they wanted for this push either last time. So their lineup isn't quite what they probably want for this push. So I'm going to be interested to see how Dexterity adapt to this and whether they can pull the site out. I mean, they need to if they want to stay in the final. They have to win these next 2 rounds in a row to have any chance of winning. So right now, it looks like Perplex in a good position to win this out. But as I said, this map so far has had a lot of surprises and anything can happen.
Well, it's pretty interesting because I'm pretty sure Perplex could have gone to the basement site if they wanted to, but decided to go for the archives and tellers, which I believe they have not defended yet. They defended the top floor 1 time, and all the rest have been basement holds. So it's going to be interesting to see how they defend this one. It looks like they're playing over in the, I think that's the east lobby pretty aggressively, as that's Zanky over there. Now you're going to see Hyper make his way towards the building from the east side. And you might just jump right into open area alongside Sweater. So this might be a north side push from open and admin. They could try to get into site. However, that's not really too successful from what I've seen. They might just try to open up the wall on the tellers from the main stairs. So see how that transpires.
Yeah, we're seeing an interesting peek here that's starting to come from Zanky, where you sit up on there and you can get the angle on to the lobby area. But I think being a such high level player, a lot of these players will know about that. So I think he's waiting to open up just yet, waiting to see the calls from Pulse, see if he gets called out that there will be in lobby. But it seems right now they're going to be taking control of open area, and we're going to see Dot pushing to top floor and try and gain control of that.
Yeah, so we're about halfway through the round. Crooked's going to be playing on blue stairs, just waiting it out. Yaga's going to get the first pick onto Dot, so that's going to be helping Perplex out. They are now a round away from winning this. Now Crooked's going to rotate to probably main stairs as Hyper is awaiting his arrival. And he just might push out. Now Wholesale Milk is there for support too. Yaga's going to get the pick, and Sharsh is going to refrag that. So now it's 4v3 in favor of Perplexed. Just a minute left in the round. 13 is on site, but he's heavily injured. I don't think he's gonna get get picked up or revived. He's gonna lay down a remote smoke grenade on Tellers to try to buy some time. And there's actually a C4 toss from up on underneath the hatch by Tellers. I don't think it connected with anyone, but it was an interesting tactic there. 13 is gonna be trying to watch and defend this Tellers, who's tossing another smoke. It's only 30 seconds yet. Hyper is gonna get the kill onto him. 3v3. Now 3v2, and Sharks gets the pick. And now the attackers will win. Dexterity getting this round win, making it go to round 11 once again here on Bank.
Yeah, I think that was a really good round from Dexterity. Oh, I was going to say it really wasn't the kind of position they'd want to be in a 3 versus 4, but I think the defenders had themselves positioned really poorly, as there was only one person on site, and Hyper took advantage of that, pushed in, won the gunfight with the smoke, and it left it to a retake. As we saw, they had all the kind of retake angles covered, and as they come running up and down to kind of get back into the site, they get gunned down. And now we're going to be seeing 5 versus 5, as you say, yet again on bank. This is certainly what you'd expect from a final of 2 brilliant teams. And Dexterity probably going to be doing their all to win this out. I'm not quite sure where they're going to be going this time though. It seems they are going to be all the way on the bottom 4 this time again. They're going to try and push this out. We've seen them lose this quite a lot, so Perplexed could easily win this, but you know, anytime I try and call anything, it seems the other teams want to prove me wrong, so it could be interesting to see how this turns out.
Well, this is certainly becoming a nail-biter, going to the very last round in overtime. Once again, it's either going to map number 5 or Perplexed winning here. So this is going to be a very important round. Let's see how that happens. Now, the roam clear hasn't been incredibly too strong from Perplexed. I don't think they really gave it a fair chance, aside from the last round. And they actually went on head-to-head against the Black Mirrors and the defenders using those. They're not really working their way from the top 4 down in most scenarios. It looks like they might try to do that now with Yaga going to the top floor. But that's haven't really seen a too traditional clear out of roamers from Perplexed.
Yeah, I think we did kind of see this kind of push from Perplexed last time. We saw Yaga kind of on his own take out Mirror and the Hyper, the bandit being played by Hyper. So maybe this time they won't be playing as aggressively onto those holes they made, and they might just try to stay alive and waste the time and drop back down into sight. Because we saw how effective they could be up there last time, but when getting taken out and pushed, it kind of led to a very hard hold there, and Charge did lose his life and lose the round. But we are going to be seeing Perplexed push aggressively downstairs. Zanki in the lobby now coming from top floor, and Yaga peeking into open area. He will get sprayed out through a wall by, I think, Dot. And Dot will lose some health there. They will try and challenge it, but Yaga picks up a kill onto Hyper. Or I think that was Yaga picking up the kill. My screen's getting a bit pixelated right now. I can't quite read the kill feed.
Yeah, it seems like a one-man band of Yaga. He's frag hunting right now, and now it's just Zanki's able to get in the admin. Now he has the hatch under control. So this looks like a loss of control from Dexterity. Now 5v3. Things are looking good for Perplexed. Can they secure sight? Now Dot is going to get killed 5v2. How will this go? It's only up to Ella and Castle left.
Yeah, my screen has come late.
Yeah, it's a little fuzzy for us for this last minute, but we're going to try to cast this one.
Dexterity looking really hard pushed here. Ella will get taken out. It's now 1-4, and it seems like Perplexed had the best opportunity to win this final, and they do. Perplexed taking the final 3 maps to 1. Really well played by them, and Yoga getting that kill, and we see Yoga doing so well for his team there. I think he picked up around 14, 15 kills by the end of that, and we saw him doing so effectively, pushing onto that open area. I think that's 18 kills? I'm not sure.
No, I think that was 15.
15, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
16 kills.
For our hosting system, it can get a bit pixelated, so it's hard for us to kind of see, but that was really well played by Perplexed there. I was kind of confused as to why Dexterity would go downstairs when they have lost it 3 times in a row, but it was really well played by them, I think, and we see that they deserve to be the champions.
Yeah, great job by Perplexed and Dexterity. Perplexed, they seem pretty strong for the most part around. Just getting that blowout on border was really big for them, just gaining some momentum. Obviously, the last 3 maps have been very close altogether. Dexterity winning one of them, but they were not able to stay around for map number 5. So that'd be Perplexed winning the championship for the Invite Series.
Okay, it looks like we will be doing a post-game interview with 13.
Oh, I've never done anything with this before.
The captain of Perplexed, and we can see how he feels about winning this. But as you said, but Border, like last night's final, was a kind of a blowout match, and now this time, like the next 3 maps were played extremely close. So I think, like you said, they were both 2 very capable teams, and It could have gone any way. I think Dexterity maybe just choosing the wrong site there for the last site, but at the end of the day, they both played extremely well, and they did a very good job to come back to almost make it match point.
So we are having 13 on the call, or we're ringing him right now. See if we're able to get him to pick up. Never did an interview with a player before after a match, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see how he's feeling. I'm sure he's going to be pretty energized after winning in such a grudge match against Dexterity.
Yeah, he's still ringing at the moment, but I'm sure we'll get him in a second. He himself played very well for his team, and here he is now, 13. How are you feeling after that win?
Really good. Is there any way I can add like the rest of my team in here?
Yeah, if you look in the top right, it'll have a person and a plus mark. Plus.
Okay.
You can add them there. Oh.
So we might have the whole crew in here.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm not sure if Dexterity want to do an interview after this, just saying how they feel about just missing out on the final here, but it was still a great job by you guys in Perplexed. Having watched you through the semi-final, be a very strong contender.
Thank you guys, we appreciate it so much.
Let me I don't even have Crook. I'll just tell him really quick.
So,
Okay.
guys, as a team, how does it feel to be the champions of the ESA as a whole?
I don't even know where to begin, dude. We're not even there for the money. We're just there for like the fact that, you know, we want to be one of the best underage teams, and then the fact that we took down one of the best underage teams is it feels good. They played super well, man.
We have 4 out of the 5 members in.
Okay.
Yeah. Just Yaga now. Oh, the
Yeah.
party is full.
Oh my god, that 17 kills that last game.
Yeah, on the last game, Yaga, he pulled through and he helped us win that.
Wait,
no
we had
doubt.
7 team kills?
He had 16, 17 kills, something like that. Yaga pulled through that game, no doubt.
15. I think it was 15 we saw at the end there, but it was definitely a really...
17.
Oh, it wasn't Ian, okay. I thought... I'm getting like... Sorry, yeah, but he did a really good job. But you did a really good job yourself, Wholesale. I think you saved your team a lot of times. And I mean, there was a lot of situations where I kind of didn't expect you guys to win rounds, but you managed to just pull through. But that was on both sides there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our first 3 maps we felt were like really clean, and then we got to bank, and everything started. You could see a lot of things rounds we could have won. They kind of got sloppy in the end. It seemed like we started out the rounds really well, and then they kind of fell apart.
I think that was for both teams, though. We saw Dexterity go downstairs and lose it 3 times in a row. I was quite surprised they chose to go there again for the last match. That meant so much to get through to the next map. But it was a good job. I think that one time when Hyper kind of shredded you apart at the end on his flank, that was maybe a bit of a throw. But other than that, it was
The
really
comms
good.
in Discord.
There was some miscommunication. In that.
Oh, okay.
We had a little fun.
We had a little talk about that.
Okay. Yeah, that was a bit embarrassing, I'd say, but I think miscommunication can throw. And I think overall you guys still did a really good job regardless. And honestly, I think everyone went into that map expecting Dexterity to win.
Oh, yeah. I personally did expect it. But
I've seen you play and you're good.
We could tell that those were like, we could tell that was the expectations of most of the people. Like we have
we have a poll, I believe. Let me see if I can pull it up.
We definitely felt like the underdogs there.
Let
Yeah.
me see that poll. I mean,
Yeah,
we didn't honestly. We didn't feel like the underdogs personally, but we could tell pretty much everyone thought we were the underdogs.
Let me pull up those poll results for you real quick.
We didn't really think we were underdogs.
So, the results of the poll was 67 to 33. What?
Oh, that was for the...
That is
the
wrong poll.
That's a different poll. That was for Aggressor and Mask Off last night, so...
Yeah.
Apparently
I guess
people
we
voting
don't
now.
have the poll. But I looked at them and it definitely was lower than that. You guys were expected to perform under that. But you guys did great. That first map, you guys did something that nobody expected you to do.
Yeah, I
That's
think
just when we were really playing together.
Yeah,
And
we
that's
were-
why.
yeah.
That's why.
Best out of
Yeah.
5. That's why best out of 5 is a lot harder because you do get fatigued after a lot of matches.
Yeah, I think I can
especially
definitely hear it in your
5.
voices.
Yeah.
No, but it's just like Bank. There was a lot of miscommunication. We just didn't work together like we did on Border. So I mean,
that's understandable. It's a less played map in comp, so it's not quite as polished, I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch back the VOD, you'll definitely see some of the plays that we made that should have just. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, we probably should have won that map like 5-1, 5-2. We just made so many sloppy plays on attacks on Vault. Like we would get the first 3 guys, and then we just couldn't finish out the round. So.
Yeah, I did notice that. I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think, like I said, after playing, I think 3 maps already, you get a bit tired and comms get a bit like more messed up, and people aren't playing quite on form. But
Yeah,
think
like
you
Border. Our Border was our high energy map. Sorry to cut you off.
that's fine. That's fine. That was a really good game on Border, though. But I think I'm kind of like I'm not being biased, but I'm kind of happy you proved the chat wrong. I saw lots of, Dexterity going to win this 3-0, 3-1.
Oh yeah.
And I was kind of happy to see you win.
After Oregon, like we hopped in the chat just to see what everyone was saying, and you just like to do that. So we saw literally almost everyone except for just maybe like 1 or 2 people were saying that they wanted Dexterity to win and that they expected Dexterity to win. So it was really satisfying to see that we could do it.
I mean, I just wanted to ask you guys a couple questions. Talk about like the history of you guys and stuff. You started off in the Contender series and just completely demolished in that. I think you were
Were they in,
over
were they
10
in
We were
wins.
10-0. We were 10-0 in the Contender series.
Okay,
Wait,
10-0.
Contender Series this season?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
season. And then so that's the
And they
reason
just moved us up.
That's the reason we're 2-0.
And you went from Contender, and you now are the champions of the ESA. I'll say that the Invite
Or
League is
invite. Yeah.
well, the Invite. You are. I'd call them the champions of the ESA.
I'd say so. If you're flawless on the Contender and now you win the series against such a strong team, Dexterity were also flawless. Definitely a champion.
I'm gonna get out of here.
Thank you,
I want to get Yaga in here just so he could really say anything. Can you add him into the call?
Nip is waiting for us.
Oh,
I see. But yeah, all right.
So
good
I
talking
have
to you guys.
I have a question for you guys. So
all right.
next season, I think you guys are gonna come back and try to keep your title.
Oh,
Hopefully.
Yeah.
even
Oh, yeah,
stronger.
hopefully.
We're gonna come back even stronger. We're not gonna stop here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we came into this game pretty much set on the fact that we were gonna win. We weren't even flustered.
Yeah.
Thank
See that
you.
the rest of your team agrees with that statement, but
They do. They won't say it here.
See some Fabian confidence there.
Yeah.
I came for the skin and charm, so.
yeah. Well, congrats to all you guys. I know you well deserved it, and I hope you guys have much more success in the future for Rainbow Six Siege. So I'm gonna be watching out for you guys, see how you do.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
You guys.
See you
All right,
guys.
Good
Yeah,
job.
see you all. Good job.
Well, I think we're about finished unless there's someone else joining. But for the stream, I think we're just gonna wrap it up. Thank you everyone for coming here and watching. It was quite a long match. Went through 4 maps all together, and Perplexed was able to come out on top as your ESA Invite Series champions. It was a lot of fun. Good job to Dexterity and Perplexed. Excellent matchup. Probably couldn't ask for a better one. So I was your caster Slash alongside Mayhems, and we also had Wazda as our host. Is there anything you guys want to say before we head out?
I do, but was the one who goes first?
I'll go last.
Okay, I just want to say thank you for watching, everyone. And I'm obviously very new to casting, and I just want to say thank you to Slash for being such a good partner. And he does a great job. And I think, yeah, he was one of the best casters to watch this final and cast with. So I just want to say thank you, and also thank you to Wazda for hosting.
No problem. I want to say thank you all very much for watching the ESA Invite and Contender League. This has been our last game of Year 2, Season 4. And we, in the ESA, we will all see you guys in Year 3, coming very soon.
Yeah, so watch out for that, and we'll keep you all updated with posts. If you're not, follow ESA on Twitter just to stay up to date on what we have planned. So thank you everyone for watching, and have a good night.